Think we're at 3 o'clock?
We're at 3 o'clock.
The clock is fast. That's. I'm ready.
See you.
Good.
Clock's off by 2 minutes, just for reference.
Yeah.
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. It is, oh, sorry,
I'm just making sure.
was that me? Everything turned off, I think. Most everything.
I mean, you're live.
Everything turned off except Helen, because she's an emergency contact, so it gets through no matter what.
Yep.
We're good, Kristen? Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, 5th of August, 2026, and this is a regular meeting of the Waterville Valley Select Board. I am the chair, Rich Rita. Here today with me is Vice Chair Wendy Blay, right? And Select Board Member Dan Bancroft. So we have a quorum. Shall we proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. All righty, I see a number of folks here in the public gallery to make it sound so formal. Is anyone here for a privilege of the floor? That is something that's not on the agenda that they'd like to raise, bring to our attention?
I don't see the election on the agenda, but I'm flexible.
Okay, we'll do it we'll do it under new business, if that's okay. Yep, Marty, you had something? Could you please come up and announce who you are and?
Martin O'Riordan. My request is that I be involved in the the work on the Greeley Hill subdivision going forward, so we can get sewer to everybody in the most cost-effective manner possible, and that we get the drainage. The sewer, everybody knows about how it went. There's a much simpler, and I have no problem calling people. I've offered an easement. The Avises have offered an easement. I'm going to talk to a couple other people so that we have totally gravity fed down to the bottom.
If I could just stop you here, Marty, we're gonna actually be discussing sewer on Snows Mountain Road.
Okay,
Later on, and there's some things that have occurred that I think will directly bear on what you're asking for. So if you don't mind waiting to that discussion.
yeah, and then also with the drainage.
And we'll discuss
thank you.
drainage as well, so, yeah. Anybody else for privilege of the floor? Yeah,
Will Lamb, Valley
Hi, Will.
Property Services, how are you?
good.
Good, just one point or something I want to talk about, it's kind of involved with the trash that, that, will be evolving here shortly. I know there's I believe one law that's, or RSA that says that like, no, commercial outfits can get rid of homeowner trash at the town waste facility. At times I have people that call us to say, hey, can you go in our house and get our trash in the garage and stuff like that?
Right.
And get that out, but if that is in place, I can't do that for owners. Because
Okay.
I'm a commercial entity.
Right, you won't have that. Yeah, this is something I think you guys have been
Yeah.
touching upon, so are you planning to discuss that at all at this?
Just a point I was bringing up, I didn't know.
Okay, we'll address it if that's okay, if you don't mind. I
Yeah.
know you're a
No problem, thank you.
busy man, more than busy, I'm sure. But we plan to discuss that as well
No
in
problem,
this
thank
meeting.
you.
Okay, and that, anybody else? If not, we'll move on to select board minutes. Okay, I was just a little confused. It probably showed, Kristen. I responded to draft 3, but I think draft 2 was what was circulated, so I'm not sure if my comments matter. But,
Tomorrow.
oh, okay.
After amended.
All right, so you got my comments then, and I noticed that the one major thing I wanted to get was the bottom,
Yeah.
right, which was in draft 2, but funnily was not in draft
Yes.
3, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just responded to the last set I got. That's what that was all about.
Right.
All right. Does
You're talking
anyone have
about the
any?
bottom of the 15th?
Yes, where we had the vote, but it
Right.
wasn't
Which Dan-
recorded, so
Dan-
Jen couldn't have seen it.
No, but Dan did tell me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I saw it again in draft 2, but
Yeah.
I didn't read draft 2. I read draft 3. Which didn't have it, so. Whatever. Okay, as long as we catch that.
Yes.
Very good. Does anybody have any other comments on either the 1 July or the 15 July minutes? Would someone then like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from 7/1 and 7/15/26 as amended.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Let's move on to town manager update.
So first on wastewater and water, we've made several offers, well, several, we've made 2 more offers to potential individuals for employment to work at our wastewater water treatment facilities. Waiting to hear back on both those offers. They went out this week. Actually went out today, so we're not panicking that we haven't heard back or anything.
Are those, sorry, both wastewater, or is one wastewater and one water?
Both,
Okay, they're both.
Yeah.
Did it cross?
yeah,
Okay.
every cross training across the board.
Awesome.
Okay.
Um,
It's the Waterville Valley Way?
And then yesterday we had our inaugural ad hoc budget advisory committee meeting. Went very well. It was unfortunately Doug Waite wasn't able to attend. We've reached out to him. We haven't heard back on why. But in the discussion, Doug was supposed to attend the meeting remotely because he was traveling. And so we all, the 2 other members, Anna and Daryl, said that there'll be moments when they would need to attend remotely. We know the select board policy typically, requires that committee volunteers attend in person if possible, with very few exceptions. In this scenario where we have individuals that are still employed and are, have school-age children, there'll be moments where they have to attend remotely. So we're looking for the board to be okay with this committee doing remote attendance. Just
Yeah,
looking-
I'm good with
I'm
it.
fine
In
with
this
that.
case, make
Yeah.
an exception. That,
I'm okay with that.
okay, yep, so then
Great.
go forward with that. So this was the organizing.
Yep, this was
meeting.
the organizing. We talked about, they had a lot of great ideas, a lot of
Great.
subjects. The minutes are done and I think they should be up by the end of this week also. So if people want to follow along with what we accomplished. One of the things that they did decide is that moving forward, they wanted to record and publish all the meetings so that there will be a video to be watched from any of the meetings, so people can certainly follow along. If we can get remote attendance and get it live at the same time, we'll do that as well.
Okay,
So
Okay, good. And the next meeting is next
next month, yeah, it'll be the first Tuesday of the month.
1st September then?
Yeah.
1 September.
Yeah, that'll
so
be-
the first Tuesday of every month?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I missed the meeting. I'm the select board rep, but um had a medical thing to take care of, so I will be at the next one,
Look forward.
for what it's worth.
Yeah, looking forward to your attendance. Just wanted to give a shout out to Bill Dower, who's been our project manager over on Boulder Path. Providing great support to the town and the oversight of the work that's going on over there. He's coordinating a lot of stuff. They spent a long time yesterday locating the water line for the golf course and the wires, and they put a lot of effort in. I think they ran out of time and they started digging a little more aggressively and may have broke the water line, but I think they did a quick repair on it and they're up and running again. So I think all satisfied over there. The road is currently closed and it'll be closed every day during construction for potentially the next 2 weeks. Just so we can speed up the process.
Hmm.
We tried different types of detours and stuff, but it was slowing progress down too much. So at this point, we've asked that people just follow the road closure requirements.
Why don't we just talk about, well, since you're on Boulder Path and it's the beginning, so why don't you go ahead and give the whole report on Boulder Path? We have it as an old business 7B.
So on Boulder Path, they're on schedule. The construction is supposed to be completed plus or minus October 9th. And that is the binder coat down with the curb in and the sidewalks done. Within the next 2 weeks, they hope to have ripped up all the asphalt and they're going to be doing the catch basins rise to grade and then put the binder coat down along with curb. So the next 2 weeks, we should see some significant progress at the end of these 2 weeks when they finish all the in-ground infrastructure, which nobody really gets to see. They dig a hole, they put it in the ground, and nobody sees what they've done. So once the risers are in, the curb is in, and the asphalt is down, people can really see, all the work that's gone into this. So that'll be the next process.
If it is going to take longer than 2 weeks, we need to notify everybody
Mhm.
just to make sure if there's any delays.
Yeah,
I-
I just got a few minutes because I'm still working. This is the first day that it was closed. I agree that it should be closed, but we need help. I need help out there. And there is no help
People walking on your,
everywhere,
okay,
everywhere. And the poor guys, the
the
flag
flag,
guys,
yeah, they don't.
their ankle bracelets are showing, they're just not handling it. They're doing the best they can. Piper, like you said, has been awesome to me, very supportive, very appreciative. I'm very appreciative of them, whatnot, Piper. And hopefully they'll go faster now that this
Mhm.
road is closed. But whoever decided to start this July 1st, I mean, obviously doesn't understand business in the valley. But, now we're into it. I would like help from you guys to actually bring some Band-Aids, because last weekend we had 2 kids that fell off on their bikes on the sand. And we're providing Band-Aids and first aid. So I think we don't see anybody out there from the town helping us out.
Okay, so I think part of the answer, a big part of the answer is better signage. Would you
No,
agree
no,
with
I
that?
need your help. I need
In what
somebody
way?
out there. I need somebody physically to say, please don't go here, please don't go here, please don't go here. They're working, they're big machinery. They're trying to get this done as fast as they can because somebody's decided to start it July 1st.
Well,
know?
is what you saw this morning better?
No.
Because there
worse.
was a flagger there and it was
I think it's
closed
better for
off.
those guys, the machinery that's waving back and forth and the dump trucks that are backing up. Yeah, I think they're gonna go faster
Mhm.
because they were having problems weaving in amongst the bikes
No, exactly.
with a 10-wheeler.
Right.
Yeah,
All right, I agree with that. Patrick asked me about the road closing and I do agree with it.
Okay.
I totally agree with it. Because we're already into this thing. What I don't agree was how did it start July 1st? Especially when in April and May and June, you can play basketball out there and not
Mhm.
anybody drive by.
well, and then that's
Well,
the
I'm not
whole
talking
issue
about
there.
it right now. I
Right.
just need some.
Let's,
I just came
Okay.
from there. There's 20 people running up and down the fairways, going to the tennis courts, going to
Okay.
the chairlift, everybody. And the signs are as big as you can ever see.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
think we need physical
you're
help.
talking
out
code
there.
enforcement,
Yeah,
basically.
detail.
Yeah.
Really Detail.
Okay.
Well, I think
Yeah.
whoever decided the July 1st should stand out there, to be honest with you.
I
And see
think,
that
what the
was-
hell's going on.
That was not an active decision.
Huh?
That was not an active decision.
Yeah.
Obviously not, because
No.
nobody understands
It
how
was-
we make our money
Well,
here.
it was May, but there were delays for a number of reasons that it's not necessary to go into.
I'll tell you right now,
I think,
there's certain times of year you could play basketball out there.
Okay, yeah, Dan, you had a comment?
yeah, I think the DPS folks they're trained for working with the public.
Yeah, well,
And it's-
I'll talk to DPS, I'll talk to Dave and Pat about getting a detail.
We
on
just
site.
gotta stop the people, walking through the property and all that, there's people hitting golf balls, one
Yeah,
person
no.
gets hit with a golf ball, I mean, that becomes a
It's the
lawsuit.
kids with the bikes on
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, because these
Yeah.
details, these flag people are gone.
Mhm.
And there's loose dirt on both sides, and literally, we're passing out Band-Aids last Saturday. Because the kids fell off their bikes. And there's nobody out there.
No, because there's no work being done, so we open the road on Saturdays and Sundays, or whenever there's a day that they're not working.
I think we need volunteers out there to hand out Band-Aids.
All right.
I really do.
I do think though, too, that there are a couple of places where better signage might help. I mean, kids are
The
kids.
signs are huge.
Yes,
Walking
but
right by 'em.
but let me finish. What I'm
Right.
saying is if I don't know what's out here at Triple I, because I came around the other way,
Mhm.
but I saw 2 cars see there's a detour sign at Osceola and Snows Brook, but it doesn't say pedestrian detour, so people come to the road closed sign on Boulder Path, see and
And they
they,
go there.
Yeah.
it needs to say pedestrian
Okay,
It
detour.
does say.
One does, the other doesn't.
Well, the
Yes.
one at Boulder Path does, but you can
Anyway,
mistake.
I'm just letting you know, I'm not gonna be
Okay.
happy if all you're gonna do is a couple of signs.
No, that's not what we're saying. I'm just saying as part of the fix for what you're telling us about, I think we need better signage, but that's not the
I think
only
you just
thing.
need some personable person there
got
besides
it.
myself, without a 22, to say, please, don't use the road
Right.
and stay off.
Message received, Craig.
Yeah.
We'll do something about it.
I'll talk to DPS about getting a detail up there. And figure
Right.
out a way to-
And I think initially,
I've asked Piper to bring out, through Bill Dower, to bring out a electronic sign that we can put at the intersection
Yes,
here at Valley.
that's what-
and
right.
Triple I,
right,
to say that Boulder Path is closed. Go this way to go around if you're trying to get to.
anything on Boulder and beyond.
Right.
Yeah,
Has there been a conversation with the bike rentals in Town Square?
Yes,
so that
we
people-
brought the map of the
Yeah.
detour showing what the pedestrian and the vehicle detour was
Okay,
to them. I think I asked DPS to bring copies to be handed out to
Yeah,
people so that they
yeah.
could use them,
okay,
great.
you know, for
Okay.
their information. If they're on the bikes, they can just look at the map and say, I gotta go this way.
cool.
So,
Would it make better sense for us just to close that road entirely? Day and night? Through this period of a couple of weeks?
Well, people who live there have to be able to
I
get through.
mean,
other than residents, you know, the people.
well, you drive all the way around and you can get up.
Well, not the
those-
people who live
yeah.
on Boulder Path, though.
I don't know, I guess it can,
I mean,
if it's
Like-
dangerous when they're not working. That's an issue.
It has
If
been.
it's not,
it has been, I saw, if you will, effectively what Craig was talking about. I had a kid riding on a bike. Saw my car,
Mhm.
went off into the gravel and, you know,
Skidded.
basically skidded and, you know, fell over, came to a rush stop and such. So, you know, he didn't need a Band-Aid, but that's certainly, and I stopped because I was driving and I was worried about I was gonna fall in front of my car.
Hmm.
Right, so I stopped entirely.
yeah,
Until he got stopped and out of the way and so forth.
It's a good question. I think I could
So-
talk to the chiefs about it and see if, you know, what Dave and Pat have to say and see if they want to go that route and if it's, you know,
Right.
it's.
I mean,
if it-
I would be amenable to that because I think that it's not just the periods where they're working, it's pretty well torn up now.
Right,
After
yeah, there's
everything
very
they've
little
done so
asphalt left to
far.
follow.
but for cars, it's not really an issue, even though it's gravel. I mean, you just go a little bit more slowly.
Right,
It's the issue of bikes, really even
It's
pedestrians.
bikes and pedestrians. There, yesterday I saw a group of, must have been like 40 people
Yeah.
walking up.
Mhm.
I agree, during work, I guess,
Through
I
there.
thought we were talking about non-work.
So.
We talking about non.
No, that
work
was
hours.
during, you know, the end of, that was during work hours.
Yeah, that's stopped, and
Mhm.
it probably could be stopped beyond the 2 week period, depending on the condition of the road. But I think on weekends, I don't know, Wendy, what do you think with regard to cars? Do we need to close it?
I
If
mean,
they're not
if there's any kind of an opening, someone on a bike or walking will just go
Do it.
around and they'll walk on the golf course, they won't care. So I don't know, I think Ed's right to talk to DPS and see what their best solution is on that.
Yeah, and you know, to Greg's point, I have seen every time I go out there every
Yeah, yeah.
single day. And I'm on site usually between 7:30 and 8, and I'm there for half an hour to go over what the.
And you
plan is for
see the
day.
joggers and the
And it's-
bicycles.
it doesn't stop.
Walkers,
And
no.
the other day, I literally had a jogger running down the golf course, and then before he got to the machine, he cut in front of my car to run right next to the machine as it was swinging, and I was just like.
Right.
You know,
All
so
bad.
it just keeps happening, so that's when we made the decision to close the
Yeah.
road yesterday.
I mean, we can only do so much. I mean,
Right,
people have agency
Yeah.
and kids don't.
one of the
make
things we
good
could maybe
decisions.
do is line the right of way with caution tape to make people understand that beyond this is
Hmm.
private property. That it belongs to the
Sure.
golf course and to stay off of it,
Yeah.
or, you know, because it's not fair to an enterprise that's trying to operate. to
Right.
Have
No,
somebody
yeah.
running down the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No pedestrian traffic with a sign.
there's plenty of those signs,
Yeah.
people are just not following
On
along.
golf course.
And
Yeah.
I can go back to the adventure zone and ask them if they're passing out these maps that say no pedestrian access, please follow the detour signs. And we can improve our signage on where it does say detour to pedestrian detour, vehicle detour this way.
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
can certainly do
yeah,
that.
that would, I think, be helpful.
It's not just kids, by the way. It's adults.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, it's anyway,
And
everyone.
it's- I've seen more adults And then I have kids
Mm.
Mhm.
in the middle of the road.
I guess I'm saying adults have agency if they want to ride their bike over a road that's
Closed.
being closed or worked over. I mean, I don't think we can have a detail out there 24.
We
Seven.
can't afford it.
Yeah,
No, probably not
but we
24/7,
can-
but I think if we,
leave the no
Or
pedestrian
to-
bikes signs
if
up,
we were
is
to
what you're saying.
have someone there at either end for a period of time, maybe a few days, it would become obvious, oh, we can't do this.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, I
maybe
think
we put a
initially,
paper
I agree
tape
with
all the
that.
way across.
Yeah.
Side to side,
Yeah,
that
except
it's a barrier,
construction.
physical barrier.
Correct.
The other signage, Ed, I think we need to improve is, if you're coming down West Branch toward, the ski chair lift, right after you go to the bridge, there's a sign that says, on the other side, that says pedestrians this way. But people may be coming down that way, they just see a detour sign that actually directs them to continue on. And then they're right in the zone. So it needs, on the other side, it needs to say the same thing,
Gotcha.
pedestrian detour this way. I think if you go out to, the corner of West Branch and the entrance,
Mhm.
I think you'll see what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they end up going in a big circle and they end up coming right back where they were, where it's just a sign there, and just make your right here. And I asked a worker yesterday, if they were making a difference between, if they were considering, a pedestrian to be different from someone on a bike. And I was told yes. And the reason I asked was because I was waiting, which was fine, but I was waiting for a person in a bike to come down.
Hmm.
So that
Unfortunately, with the flaggers,
Right.
they don't work for Piper, and they send different ones every day.
right. And so they're getting
So,
different, right.
So,
They come out and,
right.
and I think in this scenario, we're considering pedestrians, cyclists. as
It was
well.
written, chief
Yeah,
put out that
Right.
notice. Yeah,
But the flagger's not reading the notice, so
Right.
they're
That's
assuming
correct.
that, even
pedestrian,
though
right.
that, Bill and Coleman every day, they try to let the flaggers know what the rules are, it's.
I think.
You can only do so
Flagler
much, and
told
I
my
understand
wife
that.
to ride her bike across the golf course yesterday,
Right, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I had someone tell me that,
Which
today
isn't,
as well, that they were instructed.
I've told my wife not to do that, by the way.
Yeah, someone else having coffee was saying, well, I came from the bike, said, I was told just to drive down the golf course. I said, no, don't do that.
Hmm.
So that's another area that
Yeah,
needs to be.
well, maybe that's
tightened
why
up
we
a
need the
bit.
detail on each end.
Yeah. To
help.
Because
Yeah.
the detail's
Start.
not gonna get
I
that.
think for the beginning
Exactly.
to make the point. And we always knew this was gonna be something of an issue.
Right.
Okay,
It certainly
so,
has become one.
yeah, is there anything else on Boulder Path Road that you'd like to, mention,
No.
since we pretty much, anything you guys? 9 October, I guess the question then is, what then? With
well,
regard to Snows Mountain Road, at 9 October seems to me that
yeah,
we're
so
just gonna end.
it doesn't, in working with HEB and Piper in conversation, we're actually gonna be working on a public presentation, so we're gonna do a public notice to
Mhm.
have a hearing to talk about all the utilities, the sewer, the drainage and the water line on Snows
Good.
Mountain and connected roads to Snows Mountain. And what that impact would be, so that we can have that conversation that we were talking about
Marty,
earlier.
yeah.
And Marty was talking about, so I have a call tomorrow at 1 with HEB and Piper to start to put together the presentation to bring the information forward. One of the conversations we had a big meeting here with the utility companies, Piper and their road engineers, along with HEB and their engineering staff. And in that conversation, Bill Dower was here. What was brought to our attention was that what they call the area of influence. And what happens with an area of influence is when you dig a hole, you have to disturb so much area to put a certain amount of structure in, whether it's a catch basin for a closed drainage system or a water line or a sewer line or a utility. And when we mapped out the width of the road at its widest, and then we tried to put in a closed drainage system, a sewer system and a water line. What it showed was the area of influence pushed the utilities outside of the right of way. And for us to be able to do the utilities that exist on Snows Mountain and connecting roads, is that we would either have to do request an easement from all 36 residents on the roads or do a taking. And rough numbers presented by the utility with this information was it would cost millions on their side to relocate all those utilities.
And this is to put a sewer line.
This
in.
is to put the sewer on
Right,
Snows Mountain. So the cost of the project, which was 2 million originally or just under, I think is significantly more. So we want to have a public hearing to provide that information with more detail from just a meeting we had. So I have
okay,
that call tomorrow so we can put that presentation together. So before it comes to town meeting for a vote, you know, if we put it on as a warrant article, that people have an understanding of what the real cost is going to be.
But this is with the original design, right?
This is, well, with the original design, they didn't have the closed drainage system, they just had
Right.
sewer and water. So now
Right.
we've lapped in the closed drainage system. We've gone for a permit with DES. Trying to think of what it's called when you disturb an area. It's like a,
yeah, I know,
yeah, we're all
I
searching for
we
the
all
word
know,
right now. I
yeah,
can tell.
yeah, it's a
exactly,
phrase, right?
Yeah, not area of influence, but something of that. Anyway,
Okay.
doing all of the work and in the conversations that I've had with the engineers, it just seemed like the cost was significantly higher than
Mhm.
what was presented to the town before.
Terrain,
Alteration.
Alteration of terrain.
Yes,
That's
Thank you very much.
because of the closed drainage system?
Yes, I mean, because the closed drainage system was going in was to protect the utilities that are in the drainage system now in the ditches. Because all the utilities run in the ditches.
Yeah,
And we can't, if we try to dig up or modify the ditches, we'll disrupt the utilities. So they went to a closed drainage system. So now we're talking about locating all the utilities and where we can do ditch drainage to run it to closed drainage. That's what we're gonna do. So it's gonna become a hybrid system. It's gonna have both open and closed
Right.
drainage. So that's what we're discussing and working towards, because that seemed to be the most cost-effective way to do it, so.
so there'd be some areas where we're not going to do anything really, but there would need to
Right.
be at least a few areas where we would,
Right,
Need
with new
to
water
close.
line going all the way.
okay.
yeah,
And
okay.
why didn't we come up with that before? Or, I mean,
Yeah.
it seems a little late to be learning this from
Yeah.
my
Yeah, this is-
perspective.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm-
I'm jumping in
this
this
first
after,
time I've
after
heard this
town
at all.
meeting, so.
yeah,
But I
Yeah.
was trying to ask the deeper, harder questions, like what are we really looking at? Let's, you know, I have to say Patrick from Iron Piper did a good job with that slide presentation just to me,
Yeah.
showing what the scale of the road was
Yeah.
and how much width they need to take up and where do we locate the utilities.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's what really is driving this is the utilities. That wasn't part of our discussion in the past. That's a
Right.
new bit of information,
correct,
which sounds like it really impacts the cost if we want to put in a sewer line
correct.
and the issues like taking or getting easements from everybody,
Right. And
whatever sewer system.
Yeah, and
Funding.
I'd like to talk about other funding mechanisms for the people that live on those roads for, you know, instead of creating a sewer district, but maybe creating a fund that allows another form of financial support to those people because they're not tied into like sewage system, but maybe a replacement, you know, alternative
Hmm.
for their systems, their private systems.
Okay, so we have some time here. You're working on a presentation. We'll have a public hearing and then we'll hear what the folks say and then decide how we want to move forward, right?
Correct, yeah,
That's the path forward. And getting back to my original question, it seems even less likely now that Piper is going to be doing anything on Snows Mountain Road
Correct.
with a finish date of 9 October. Why would they want to dig up anything for a few weeks?
at this point, we've had preliminary conversations not to start any work until the next year, the next new
Right.
season. They have done a lot of prep as far as a lot of the material, the bigger material they've taken out of the ground on Boulder, they have processed into road gravel
Okay.
for Snows Mountain, so we are paying for that, so we'll have some money down and invested in the gravel that will go into Snows Mountain, and so
Mhm.
we'll have made a financial commitment to them at that point, but that
Okay.
doesn't change.
Sure.
They're crushing all those big boulders they
They,
pulled out.
I take a lot, that's what they do, they turn it into gravel, so.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on Boulder Path?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Anything else for your update?
Yeah, I went to National Night Out last
Oh,
night.
yes.
It was awesome to
yes.
see. I went down there. I have to say there was an amazing presence for Waterville DPS. and Park and Rec both, all the kids from the summer camp and all the employees from Park and Rec are down there running around like crazy. And then most of our officers and firefighters were there, in full detail, and to see the amount of community that's built through that. As a new town manager, I at first had asked, why don't we do this in Waterville? And then when I saw the amount of people, and I said, this is why we do it here,
Right,
because
because
the
it
flat
involves
service,
Camden and
yeah,
Thornton.
it has, it's a
Right.
huge community event, with all the
Right.
surrounding
Yeah.
towns, and I was
Right.
really excited to be there and participate in it. My wife came up with one of my youngest son, and we got to spend a couple hours walking around, enjoying free food and sodas, and meeting a lot of new people, so it
Nice.
was a great day. And I just want to give a shout out to DPS and Park and Rec for their involvement. I think
Good for them.
they do most of the heavy lift to make the event happen, so.
Yeah. Great.
And then what else do we have? Oh, Steve and I had a conversation this past week, and we just wanted to reach out to the board and ask to schedule an executive leadership planning session. So if we could pick a date on the calendar where the 5 of us could meet, have the meeting noticed so that we can meet.
Sure, do you want to do that now?
Sure.
I want to check your calendar. Did you guys have any tentative date or time or periods of time that you're looking at to have this happen?
Before the end of September.
Okay. Do you want to do it sometime in September, just to,
Yep.
since we're already a few days in October? We have a select board meeting on the 2nd of September. We have primary day on the 8th of September. The 7th is a holiday. Planning board's on the 10th of September.
September 9th is primary, right?
8th,
December day, okay.
8th.
8th is primary.
Yeah, so just looking at maybe and we have our next, then the next select board meeting's on the 16th
Mhm.
of September. So if we just want to divvy up things a little better, maybe the week of the 21st. I don't see anything on my calendar that's town related at this point.
Is that,
Outside of my Mondays, which are mostly meetings, I
Yeah.
can open anything else up.
What works for you, Wendy? You're the
Um,
most constricted.
usually Tuesdays or Wednesdays at that point are easier.
22nd or 23rd September,
works.
the rush is kind of gone,
In theory.
in theory.
Is that too late, or do you need
No,
to do it
no.
sooner?
No, I think it'll give us all time to
Want to do the
honor.
22nd then, and then if something happens,
Okay.
we can, if we need to push it back for a day or two, we have the rest of the week to,
Time in the day.
yeah, the 22nd, what time,
Morning.
morning?
You have a municipal service meeting at
Thank you.
9.
Thank you.
What day
How
is that?
about 10?
On the 22nd,
Yeah.
is that your meeting?
I think
on-
it's gonna be a busy meeting because of all the stuff we're gonna talk about today.
Okay, maybe 11?
Want to say 11 o'clock?
Does that
on the
work?
22nd?
If you guys
I don't
want to
want to
go
pick up
back
your
to
whole
back,
day.
Yeah, fine with that.
We could go to the 23rd, so you're not back to back if you want.
I don't
Okay.
care.
all right, well, let's do the 23rd then,
Thank you,
just to be
Kristen.
safe, so you're not rushing. Yeah, I didn't have that on my calendar.
Apparently I didn't either.
The 23rd in the morning, you want to say 9 o'clock, just to
Yep, get started
start
early.
rolling?
Yep.
And that'll give us the morning. 9 AM, 23rd September.
Rookie.
Okay, anything else update?
That's it for town manager updates.
that covered, nothing, anything with rec or, the camps end, do the camps
So-
end this?
So
week?
yeah, to talk to Brooke, I'm sorry. Thank you
Yeah.
for reminding me. I talked to Brooke today. Camps are regular camps winding down this week. Next week is field trip week. And then, so they're
Well, yeah.
quick summer.
Yeah.
Brooke
Seems
even
that
said
way.
It went
Yeah.
fast, so. Yeah, they're winding down, so. Great summer, great programs. I've never seen so many kids having so much fun every time you go at Packard's Field or you
Yeah,
stop in to see
You
what's
see them
going
all
on.
over town, it's
Yeah.
really nice.
So,
I was surprised just how many there were.
a lot,
Drive by there and they're all in the
Mhm.
different colors. and-
Yeah, it's,
and
well, I guess since Thornton canceled their program this summer, that's added some extra.
Yeah.
to us
Yep.
as I understand it.
Hmm.
Right. So anything else? DPS, rec, DPW, I see, as I said, I see them out there
Yeah,
patching whatever they can
yeah,
on,
so they're using some, that's reclaimed road base, road
Right.
gravel. And they're actually trying to heat it and melt it in. They don't have a lot of money for coal patch at this point in their
Right.
budget, so
so
they're
to
trying
get
to
something in.
get something
especially
in there that'll
since we're
compact.
detouring people that way.
Right. So
Yeah.
they're working hard to get that done.
Yeah. Anything on municipal water, wastewater?
Well, that was gonna be part of our new business, but new business today, we have with us Ocean O'Brien, who is our new wastewater superintendent. Let's hear. Ocean, if you want to come up and introduce yourselves to the board.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Ocean.
I'm Dan Bancroft.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Great to see you again. Good to see you again.
All right, well, welcome aboard.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Ocean has over 5 years of experience in municipal solid waste. She's a grade 2 operator. She's approved to take her grade 4 exam this December, skipping grade 3. She'll probably get that one too anyway. Her and Chris are both our superintendents over there now. So we have superintendent of distribution on the water side and the superintendent of wastewater. They're cross-training. They both are supporting each other. They're doing a great job, a ton of enthusiasm and good energy over there. So we're excited to have them. And that's why the 2 offers went out to the other
Right.
2 individuals to support them.
Right, so we have 3 now. If these 2
We'll have
folks agree,
5.
we'll get back up to at least close to where we should be.
Yeah, Department of Environmental Services asked us to have 6 people
Right,
on the wastewater side would be
alone, right?
primary staffing what they're looking for. So
Right.
if we can get 5 to operate both,
Yeah,
we're in a better position than we were a few weeks ago. So
Where do we stand with respect to having enough money to pay everybody?
it was budgeted for that, for on the wastewater side.
I know we put in,
A quarter, the last
Yeah.
quarter,
Yeah.
half, I think it
Yeah.
was, plus
Yeah.
salary that was not used,
Correct,
right?
yeah.
so when
We
would
ran,
the
we
new
ran a-
people start? Probably September or something?
yeah,
Or-
we're looking at mid-September.
Just around the corner.
it is.
Okay.
Or early September, so we're getting there. But we did a cost analysis, we reached out to Katie to run the numbers with the offers that were going out. And we're not close to the red yet.
Okay,
So,
All right,
I just-
so let's get those folks aboard.
Yeah.
want to make sure if we're
Right.
getting offers, we have a meeting.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no, we did a whole
Right.
cost analysis I can share with you
Right.
at some point.
yeah, I look forward to the Budget Advisory Committee discussion about this, because
Yeah.
these are gonna be full-time employees
Mhm.
added to the operating budget.
Correct, yep.
Yeah.
As a requirement. So-
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Well, once again, pleasure to meet you. Ocean, are you,
Well, welcome to the valley.
right?
If anybody has any questions, please.
Place around here, you're still looking to settle in? What's your situation now that you're here full-time, right?
Here full time. I'm in North Woodstock right now. So I
Okay,
just moved in last weekend.
Okay,
wow,
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
that was great.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
I have Chris come along for moral support for Ocean, but also to provide a drought update.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
while we're
Yeah.
talking about municipal, yeah,
Yeah, we're still good. We're still in our area, at least no drought. Southeast state is creeping up. The very corner is in severe drought again. And there's a band above that that's in moderate drought, and then a band above that that's in abnormally dry. So we did have a couple of dry weeks. I would expect when they do their new report that we may see that start to creep up towards us. But then again, we've gotten some rain in the last
sure
week or
did.
so finally. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that everything is looking good for the projected future. Keep an eye on our wells, but no problem so far. Everything's good.
Right. And I would assume that the adding that extra line, that extra water line, or using the one that was added is all working well from well 3.
We haven't been able to activate it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we did some chemical test. Chris can explain it better than I can.
And
Let the professional jump in.
unfortunately, we just lost an operator earlier this month. So
Right,
with my limited manpower, I've done some planning and I've done some quoting with companies as far as coming up with a plan. But as we sit right now, until we can get some extra help, it's not really we'll work on it, but.
Right, well, it
now-
wasn't an emergency or situation like that, it
Right.
was just for maintenance, proper
you wanna
maintenance of,
operate.
of
We
the,
gotta,
of the line,
you know,
right?
there's some stuff that we have to address as far as disinfecting that line now, which is gonna be more of a process since it's been sitting for a long time.
Yeah,
But
over a year,
yeah, over a couple of years. But,
Yeah.
yeah, we have a plan going forward and I don't foresee too many issues, but I think looking forward to next year, hopefully that's something where we can get that done next year. That'd be my goal.
okay. Good. Anything else? Admin services, rec, DPW, DPS, I think that we've covered,
I think we covered it all.
Covered it
Yeah.
all?
DPS has been busy with National Night Out. so-
yes,
Yeah,
And then also with the road closures and,
right,
um, the staff's been running around like crazy for over a week now, so, I think they're looking forward to getting into their routine again, with summer winding down and that heavy lift over with, so.
good. Any questions? Wendy, Dan?
No,
Any
I'm good.
operational? Okay, shall we move on then to new business? So the next topic is the discussion with the Water Valley Ski Resort on the shuttle service. And I think at the end of our last meeting, the board voted to have you discuss, see you guys.
Yeah.
Have you discuss with the resort the issue that they raised with regard to first quarter 26 billing
Mhm.
based on our last conversation, so.
So, yeah,
Something's got-
so I met with the resort, we had a very cordial and productive conversation. And I made the offer to pay for 2 of the 3 months of
Mhm.
service that they provided, understanding that the vote was in early March. The resort responded a day or 2 later with thank you, but no thank you. We're not walking away from the table. We'd like to continue the conversation, but they didn't want to accept that offer. So I brought it back to the board to discuss if we wanted to do more, and we could bring this into non-public to
Yeah,
to
let's do
decide
that.
on that. But I just
Okay.
wanted to make everybody aware that we did go forward with an offer that wasn't accepted, but they didn't want to close the door to negotiations.
Okay.
They wanted to continue the conversation, so.
All right. Any comment from the
no,
board? Okay, thank you.
no, at the moment.
All righty, so municipal solid waste,
yeah,
everybody's favorite
Here we are.
topic.
talking trash.
So Wendy,
Yeah.
would you like to take it from here, or I'm sorry,
Nope,
did you have
please.
anything?
No, this is,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
lot of
right, it's all
hard work.
her, right?
It's a lot of
I
hard
just
work.
push it off to her, and I think that was a smart move. It's all yours, Wendy.
well,
She-
before Wendy takes
Yeah.
off with it, I just want to say that I support what she's gonna propose, so that I didn't push all the pressure on you. I'm willing to bear the burden of what comes with it, so.
The
Okay,
burden of the decisions that are
Yeah,
made are gonna
yeah.
fall on you, right?
well, there's been some discussion, well, first off, during our, we had our regular meeting of the group, and, that's still plugging along. Here, myself and Ed did meet last week, basically because there's some concern about investing money into truck tires. We're gonna come to a point this winter, in order for the truck to stay safe, it's gonna need tires, tens of thousands of dollars.
Hmm.
And, it just seems like if we know we're going in this direction anyway. And the other thing that keeps coming up is Bethlehem is not guaranteed to stay open until the end of April. That's when they have to close by, but they could close prior to that if there's additional capacity that they take from wherever. So given those 2 factors, we're wondering if it's worth pushing this sooner. We've been using the phrase rip the Band-Aid off and just start right away after the closure of Bethlehem. But should we look at starting perhaps December 1st or even more aggressively November 1st? There would need to be a lot of details worked out in terms of what container we would use, what type of container to hold all of the MSW from everybody. But it feels like throwing good money after bad to invest in those tires. And we know the truck is gonna be out of commission for us
One way or
4
the other.
months later,
Yeah,
yeah.
one way or the other. Yeah.
Feel free to jump in on all the details. I'm sure I've overlooked, Ed.
You're going good so far. What I was gonna get to was the, how we operate once we
Yes.
decide to rip the Band-Aid off. I have
Exactly.
some
Yeah, what does
ideas.
that mean? Yeah, maybe
Yes.
that's, this is. the
Yeah,
time
so
To raise that.
whether it's November 1st, December 1st, Megan did do some research at my request, and she found out that the operation is required to stay open through December, but no later. So
The Bethlehem.
the Bethlehem
Ah.
landfill is required to be open through December. They can't close sooner than that, but they could close after that. They're not required to
Right.
close.
And they haven't stated,
We've asked, they haven't stated, they haven't provided us with a number, but I appreciate
Okay.
Megan reaching in and doing the research, digging in and finding that
Okay.
information out because
That's December this year? Or?
Yes,
this year.
this year,
Yeah.
this year.
And Mike, our truck driver who typically heads out to Bethlehem, he was there this past week and he came back with a report that just says they're accepting a lot more than normal. It's a line to get in now because of the proposed closure. People are trying to get whatever they can into the place. So he says it looks like they will probably be closing earlier. And they've already started some of the capping process, so. We're really
Okay.
gonna be up against it, so.
Yeah.
Thinking about operations as they stand now, we went out with the RFI. The Municipal Solid Waste Committee provided me with their top two, 1 and 2 being ranked. So it came down to CEC and Ty and Bond were the top 2 picks.
Mhm.
Ty and Bond got the most votes. CEC got the most first place votes, but Ty and Bond got the most.
Really
votes.
interesting.
Yeah,
I thought Ty and Bond, from what material you provided,
yeah.
seemed to be,
Yes, I provided
Good
the
choice.
RFIs to the board as well.
Yeah.
yeah,
So Ty and Bond is the top vote getting RFI that was submitted, so.
Yeah, just for details, the group hasn't had a chance to discuss it at all.
okay.
We wanted to make sure to get this information to this board.
Mm-hmm.
And so our meeting got pushed to next week, so we did this vote electronically, so everyone just talked to Ed. So this is news to me as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
right. Well, what I liked about Ty and Bond is they actually had
a couple of schematics.
a couple schematics
Mhm.
to move, whereas none of the others, I think, did.
They didn't, no.
Right.
So in the operations in the interim, because obviously it'll take a while to construct, whatever is designed by whatever firm is selected. That we could move the C&D containers from their locations and move them over to where the residential trash is thrown in our dumpsters currently. And then put 30-yard containers there to receive household trash to be hauled by Waste Management or whoever we can find as a quick contract in the interim while we're in design and construction phase for a real transfer station operation. Sure.
so with respect to a quick contract. What work have we done along that line? Because there's probably 5,000 other little towns trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, so
And
I know that,
are we sure that we would be able to put something in place?
well, 30-yard containers are always available for rental. And there are plenty of companies that will haul them for us. So
Okay.
I'm not so concerned about getting that. It's moving forward with the final design and getting the operations from whether it's Waste Management, Casella, or
Right.
any other local company. But as far as getting a 30-yard at a Hall residential, I think we'd be in good shape. I know we've reached
I'm
out
just
to,
concerned with the short term. Because there is a transition before we build anything.
But in a sense, it might almost work in our favor to move faster, because that is an excellent point that there are gonna be a bunch of towns all of a sudden scrambling, and if we're moving faster. Then
Right.
we're securing,
Head of the-
we're at the head of the line as opposed to
Right,
scrambling after
right.
everybody.
Does it make sense, Wendy, for, if you will, your committee to have additional meetings over the short term to try and get our act together
And we're meeting-
completely and then have a public hearing as soon as we can?
Yes, that's what we talked about last meeting. We're meeting every
Yeah.
2 weeks, and our plan was to have a public hearing towards the end of this month. And then again in
Okay, do we have
October.
Do we have a date for a public hearing?
We don't yet.
Okay.
We would like it to be concurrent with the select board.
Mhm.
So because it's one thing for the working group to make recommendations, but of course, this is the decision-making body. So it does
Right.
need to be under the, I feel, under the select board purview.
I will be gone for the next select board meeting because I'm in Scotland.
Okay.
I'll be on the airplane actually flying back.
So, let's just look at the schedule. It seems to me that, you guys we have a meeting schedule, right, coming up. So you
On the
need some
11th.
time to actually put together whatever you're going to recommend to the board.
Mhm. Well, I think we essentially have a recommendation. You're
We
the chair,
recommended
yes.
December 1 or November 1, whatever we can manage.
To go to,
To
For-
stop running the
For
truck
retiring the truck
and stop running to Bethlehem.
right, and in the
Right.
interim,
in the interim.
get the 30
Once-
yard.
This is how I understand
Sorry,
it. Once,
would you, I know you have a louder voice, but just so people who are listening.
you can't hear me, I talk loud.
You do.
Okay, so we
Here-
recommended
Here,
December,
would you, just for the record?
who am I?
Yeah.
Erit of MSW.
Well, you're the chair, right?
And the chair
Okay.
on top of that. Okay. We recommended December 1 or November 1. You heard what we,
Right.
yeah, discussed. I would strongly urge you, the town manager and the select board to make a full town announcement so they know, so everyone knows what we're talking about. And the reason, there are two reasons that I can think of. One, that there are several rumors running around.
Only
So
several?
let's quell
Yeah.
a few of those rumors. The other thing is, as Will has found out, I think he made a phone call to Waste Management. We're looking at Waste Management, by the way, because after Megan made a few calls to Casella, Witcher, and a few others, I forget. Waste Management seemed to be the most economical, and they're already here in the valley. So the ones who whine about, oh, we don't want to drive 22 miles extra. So it's irrelevant. So that's why we mentioned Waste Management and not Casella and not Witcher. So anyway, Waste Management would be the one coming here. So
This would be for
getting
the-
back to, yeah,
But this will be for the transition period to service
Potentially,
the,
so,
potentially, yeah,
so Megan is shopping for best rate. She's still in,
that's right.
they're still looking
Yeah,
at,
she's still-
okay,
but
I'm
she's-
trying to get the timeline down because
yeah.
Yeah.
She's,
we've got a crunch here.
Yeah.
Well, because
For you.
there would be two different collection mechanisms. For the interim, we're looking at possibly just an open container that gets, stuff
Mhm.
gets tossed in, and then the machinery around here can compact it the best they can. In the long term, we're looking at an actual compactor.
Right,
Right,
right, but I'm just talking about what we're
separate
stopping at,
construction.
say, 1 December.
Right, so
Right.
the
we're accepting.
important thing is to first make an announcement, whether you do it CMSA mailer or news and views.
Well, we'll
Or
figure that, don't,
figure that out.
we'll figure that out, but
The important thing.
what are we
I
announcing?
wanted to mention Was, since Will is managing 12 associations, condo associations. We think they need the option of using Waste Management or centralizing trash and everyone going to transfer station. So in order to give them that option, they need time. Did I cover it?
well,
Wait,
there are a couple issues going on here, so I just want to make sure I understand it, because I
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
I'm just confused, let me put it that way. What we're proposing, what the committee is proposing is that we stop collecting trash from the dumpsters on, let's say, 1 December.
yes,
And that residents come to the transfer station,
yes.
Property owners.
excuse me, property owners. Well, anyone who pays taxes, right?
Right. Well, anyone or
Any
but that's, and
resident,
that's part of what we really
Resident.
need to make sure,
Yeah,
anyone who is habitating in a property in Waterville Valley, because if it's someone who's renting for the weekend, they, with our placard system, could come here as well.
yes, no, that's, so
it's-
that's what I
it's
meant
not
by,
just- So property owners,
taxpayers.
taxpayers and their
because
guests,
taxpayers get the 2 placards.
right,
So whether they're
yes,
renting it or they have guests coming,
Right.
they have a placard available that allows them access to the
Mhm.
transfer station, so that covers one category. Another category, I think, is represented by Will,
yes.
which is those businesses which are, you can come up to
Yeah,
if you want.
not business. First, we're talking about condo associations.
Well,
Well,
no, that's the
No?
residents.
That's a different question.
It has to do with condo associations who want to contract
Yeah.
so they can
Waste
keep their
management.
private dumpsters
Yes.
in,
Exactly, and
Yes.
right,
yeah, waste management won't give me any numbers at all until the town solidifies a decision.
I find
The
that
dates.
odd.
That's what they said.
Got it in writing.
Huh.
So,
right,
and I'm just trying to be preemptive, just to get
Sure.
all this information, so I can say, hey, all right, I've got 14 associations, let's give me a bulk number to handle all of
Right.
them,
Mhm.
because whether they decide or not to get rid of the dumpster or not, I don't know. I mean, it kind of,
Up to
it's
them.
up to them,
right,
but I'm just trying to be ready for it,
Right. And just to clarify, you're trying to be ready in getting a quote,
getting a quote.
an
correct,
estimate for
So that they can, yeah,
bulk.
so,
But where the town is by no means saying condo associations, you have to use whatever.
no, that'll be
Lines or
a
whatever.
exactly.
particular
It's-
decision
It's
on their
completely
part,
independent.
Yes.
right, and it'll be at their cost
Yep.
to do that,
Or to not do it and save the money.
Right.
and do it
well,
for the
it-
trash here.
pay for it through their
The
Right.
placard,
Right.
placard, which is
Their
through,
own funding.
Right, so in
through
order-
user fee
in
and
order-
taxes.
correct, user fee.
Well,
User
yeah.
fee. Oh, there's a small portion
But
that
to
general
make sure we're
organization.
talking about everything in the
Mhm.
same language here. The town is required to have a transfer station.
Right,
And collect MSW.
right,
So this is something that all property owners pay for,
right,
very much like the school.
right, 100%
So it's
agree.
not, if you don't come here, you won't have to pay for it. That's not what we're talking about.
Mm.
There are too many negatives in there.
No, I know, I see what you're saying is that it's up to, the town is providing the service of household waste disposal. And, the property owners are paying that through user fees, they pay quarterly, and there is a small, like 60 some odd $1,000 from general taxation, that covers that as well. And there's, well, I don't know if that includes the salaries or not, but that's neither here nor
Yeah.
Right.
neither here nor there at this point. A condo association, and I'm not talking about the condo hotels, let's leave those out for a moment, just the condo association, which you service 14 of them.
Yep.
Now, those folks can simply come to the transfer station.
Correct.
But if they don't want to do that, they can hire a private
Outside
Well,
entity to
right.
come in.
Right.
to come in and serve, right, and they could do that at their expense. But at the same time, that doesn't relieve them of the responsibility of paying for
Correct.
the transfer station.
Right.
Got it, I know that.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure we got,
Yes.
so that's the other
Yes, you put it
category,
there,
but
yes.
that creates a problem for you because well, there's another subcategory of that, which is you actually bring the household trash.
'Cause I
Here.
think they'll ask me to do it time to time, private homes,
Right.
and I'm
Right,
not allowed to.
Or anyone who's cleaning a condo, say if it's in a rental.
Right.
or being rented. And that's where I wanted to double check, Ed, have you guys done any research or do you know, can our permit be extended? Are there different levels of commercial acceptability that we could have?
We have a call to DES on that subject. We haven't heard back, but that being
Okay.
said, I know that there are other communities that do have modified permits that allow to take more than
Yeah.
just residential. So we could research that to see. That being said, we always have offered the C and D cans, outside of the residential municipal solid waste, construction and debris
right, for cost.
is at cost,
Right.
so we could look at other
Mhm.
mechanisms to accept
Right,
different trash, on a commercial basis. I think the simple solution is if somebody is a taxpayer and that unit is rented out and, I would just say that the placard comes with the vehicle that it brings it in. So
Yes,
if you're picking up on a house on Osceola and you grab their placard and come in with it, we would accept it.
Right. Doesn't happen a lot, but it happens.
Yeah.
Sure.
right, so that.
Sure.
With
no,
the
that's-
agreement, you
that's-
would have to make
right.
arrangements to have that placard for that residential home.
Yeah.
And bring it in, or if it's a condo, as long as you have their placard when you're bringing it in.
Yeah.
and not,
Because you are their agent essentially.
Right.
right, and
And
not
it's a-
necessarily one placard covering a whole truck bed
Right,
load of,
right.
you know.
Yeah, I know
We're talking about
Yeah.
household,
Yeah,
particular households. I mean,
Okay.
is that
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of.
Is that
part of us.
work for you?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have an idea how it's gonna, come out, and I just was trying to get you know, pricing and this and that, and I know a lot of it's hinged on the truck and the town making a decision. It's just, I can't move, I'm kind of dead in the water until things.
Well, I
progress.
think if you tell them December first, we're no longer doing trash pickup, you can go to.
Yeah.
Waste
They may
management.
not want to hear it from me, but I'll tell them.
So that's the point that I heard from him, that Waste Management wants an official date so that he can get his estimates.
Okay.
It's a lot of association. a
Yep,
lot
we
of
got that.
condos.
Well, we,
Or
yeah,
whoever you choose to, you know, service the town's needs.
Yeah.
right.
You know, that would be the way to go, most economical for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I would say just
Understand.
bring your
Yeah.
trash to the transfer station, the household
Right,
waste.
but also for everyone to work together with the
Yeah,
same
if people decide they
company.
want to keep
But,
their.
and then they contract with
Yeah,
that
exactly.
company. Yeah,
Exactly.
no, that would make,
Yeah.
you would think that would be the
I
cheapest
think-
option.
And I think one of the benefits is that, you know, in the research I've done and the conversations I've had with the resort, that's who they use.
Right.
Mhm.
And in conversation with the resort, they were telling me that instead of having to pay, you know, a rotational fee every time they come up, regardless of the load or the weight in the compactor, they actually have a load limit, and when it's 80% full, it notifies us and we notify them we're ready for a pickup, so it's an on-call basis. So in the town's slower months, just like the resort, they're not paying for trash that's not there, you know, they're not paying a trucking fee, so.
Right.
It's a
All
good,
right, so that covers,
so once we're to the compactor side of it, not in full operation.
right, once we get there.
Right, so
But for this transitory period, let's say that starts 1 December,
we'll be paying for 30-yard containers and they'll scale it and they'll send us a bill each time that they haul it.
And theoretically, kind of going to the next step, if we do start this sooner, we can talk to contractors about starting construction sooner.
Mhm.
With the degree of construction that we'll need, it is possible to do this in the winter time, correct?
The majority of it,
Yeah.
other than probably won't be able to set the poles for a barn, but outside of that, we could have the infrastructure all set up and have the compactor operational with a ramp and the loading points.
Okay.
So it'd be the next year that we'd have it covered, but
Right.
outside of that, we'd be operating, hopefully.
So then the next question is if we've heard from David Lefebvre about our ability to do a special town meeting, because this type of construction, we would need to bond, because it will be over 100,000 presumably.
It will be over 100,000.
Yes.
Um,
So
we-
if we were to do this before, like if we wanted to start a winter construction, we would need to have
I
that
think
vote
we need,
beforehand.
I think we need a court to allow us to have a special meeting when
And
it
that's what
involves money.
we could
Yeah.
ask for our
So
counsel.
it's all doable. I didn't get an opinion from him, but I know that it's possible. That being said, you know, I don't know that going to construction sooner would be any benefit as opposed to just bringing it to regular town meeting. If we have a special
Okay.
town meeting now or in December, we're so close to our regular town meeting
In early March.
in March that, you know, it would be my advice that we do the vote in March to allocate the funds to construct our,
Yeah, my
Reorganization.
understanding is the Supreme Court is not likely to grant you a special town meeting if it involves money. Unless it's a dire emergency. in the
Yeah,
town.
no, you're absolutely correct. That's
we
what
had
was,
thought
that's what I was.
before, and we
right.
put it off, but just,
But all the arrangements could be made, including the cost. We can actually
we would know the
Yeah.
cost, yeah.
know the
Yeah,
cost, and a
we'll have all
contract
that.
can be written that takes into account town meeting. We've done that before too in the
Yeah.
past, and
Yeah.
it becomes effective if approved at town meeting, so. But whoever we pick, be ready to go at the first available time in April.
right?
Yes,
Uh,
April 1.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But just getting back to this 1 December or whatever date we settle on. My concern would be with the commercials, right? We're not gonna allow them to bring it here, so they have to have sufficient time,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
get their contracts up and running. And so we're talking 3 months at this point. If we
Yeah.
do 1 December, 3, almost 4 months. But
Yeah, and my understanding is a lot of the commercial entities are already talking amongst themselves about consolidating and trying to get a contract to service the majority of them together. I don't think there's anybody that's trying to.
So you think it's doable?
I do believe it's doable.
1 December probably better than 1
Yes.
November for,
Yeah, I think we'll.
just to cover
we'll
that.
Squeeze too many people on November 1, so on December 1, I think we can limp the truck along till that time. The truck will probably be running a few weeks after that, just collecting all the empty containers throughout the town, to bring them back for scrap, so. There'll be a collection for those. at some
Okay,
point.
so that leaves a final category for at least this transitional period, and later is the condo hotels.
they would be considered commercial.
At least that side of their operation,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, and again, I think if somebody is a residential taxpayer within the unit, they have a right to a placard and they can.
Right,
decide
and they
to-
can bring their own trash,
Absolutely.
but if they decide they're going to rent and they have a management desk that rents it,
Then it's commercial entity,
and they have to deal with that commercially.
right, which the hotel will have to have their own anyway.
Yeah.
So my sense is that
Right,
it'll probably be
it'll,
A split.
okay, it'll be seen, I think, as double paying.
but they have the option to come here as a resident.
Right.
Or as a taxpayer.
Right, and it's their choice to rent out to be a
Mhm.
hotel, for lack of a better word, right?
Yeah.
So that
Right,
we borne by them, the cost will be borne by them.
correct.
Did we leave anybody out? Any categories out?
I don't believe so.
Right.
Think
And
for
C and D and other recycles that we do now,
Will remain.
for everybody.
Yeah.
And the same schedule, I mean, we have a payment, or we need to relook at the payment schedule for that.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a new one for me. Yes, we'll have to look
Yeah.
at that. But that being said, I think that, we do the mattresses at a fee, the propane
Right.
tanks, all those things will remain, the C and D.
Right.
So that'll remain available to everybody
Right. I don't think there'll be too much renovation potentially going on
in
right,
December.
in the middle of
December,
the winter.
because that's where some of this comes, right? 'Cause renovation usually starts springish,
I mean, I have my own dumpster at the office.
right,
I
for,
mean, I just do my own stuff there.
Mhm.
I try to throw it in the town.
Okay,
Yeah, and then there's been other discussions is about, hours of operation, whether they'll need to increase or decrease, and I think we can find that out through the early on temporary operations.
Yeah.
Right.
What we need to do and
right.
not need to do.
It's
So,
gonna
yeah.
take some time to
right, and I think,
massage how it all
yeah,
plays out.
yeah, and especially during this period, just the same as this past winter and all other winters, it's the same crew doing the snow removal as the trash collecting.
Right.
Running the transfer station.
Right.
Not collecting, running the transfer station.
Mhm.
So, and we should try to align ourselves with the state requirement, I forget how strong it was, that we have 2 people
Right.
working at the transfer station at a time
Right,
to reduce the risk
yeah,
on one person being there and being injured.
right. And that brings us to transfer station hours
Yes.
and
Right.
manning, if we're gonna go this way,
right. So, right now, our operations Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday,
right?
is that gonna be sufficient? What do we do for holiday weekends? Because now people are gonna be required to bring their trash here, and if they're headed out of town on a holiday weekend where it's a Monday, do they,
Need to add the
Right.
Mondays.
do we need to add for holidays, do we need to be available?
We are different than other towns, but I
Right,
think
as a
from what I've
resort
seen,
community.
most towns are open 3 days a week.
Yeah,
Seems to be a
there's-
standard
there's-
number,
There's a lot of towns that operate less hours.
Yeah.
And less time.
yeah, but we're different,
Right, we're different, the way the weekends function up here,
right, and
so.
being a resort community, yeah,
One thing that's different is that the way our transfer station operates with the hours right now, we'll get a group of people coming in, they might get 30 cars coming through within an hour or two, and then it's quiet for the majority of the rest of the
Mhm.
day, and then you'll get a few other people
In the evening.
just scattered throughout.
right,
So. The fact is that we can accommodate more people coming through the transfer station within these hours.
Mhm.
That we have right now, just
Right.
saying that because more people are coming, we have to have more hours. We have a lot of hours where the
Right.
transfer station person
Agree.
Yeah,
is just
Right,
waiting.
so it's
for
not
somebody to
necessarily-
show up
right.
Right now, so we're
And-
gonna have to look at that.
well, and that could be information that could be disseminated. Look, if you don't need to be here between 8:30 and 9:30, wait till 11:30 and it'll be quieter. If we
Right,
have
right.
busy hours, we
So,
can put that out
right.
there.
It seems to me that I think all the board needs at this point is assurances that we have the staff to be able to handle starting on 1 December, whatever the hours turn out to be, whatever plan that that you're gonna have to come up with to handle
Mhm.
everybody now bringing their trash, and I'm hearing, yes.
We have the staff.
We have the staff
We have the ability.
and we have the space
Mhm.
at this point for these sorts of things.
Yep.
Okay,
Are we going to set that date of December 1st right now here and there? And disseminate that to everyone because this video is going to be listened to by a lot of individuals. And I believe it's important that we make a decision
Yes.
early for
Mhm.
everybody's sake.
And that is a request for this board to be crystal clear about
That's
the
right.
intentions.
so
That's right.
MSW committee is recommending.
Yeah.
We have that vote
Yes,
and along the lines we've just discussed.
yes.
Okay.
Supported by the.
So-
town
I was gonna ask the town manager if he's in line with this.
Mhm.
All right,
Do we need to make a motion to do
We do.
this?
Mhm.
Or-
we do. So Wendy as
How do
the, as the
Can you
chair.
read that motion
Would,
for us?
would you like me to word that as opposed to one of you guys? That's fine. I would make a motion that the town move forward with a December 1st, with the goal of a December 1st ending of the trash pickup throughout the town and the use of the transfer station for all MSW collections.
Right,
Cover it
for
for
non-commercial,
municipal solid, for,
Yeah.
Right.
yes,
Residential.
non-commercial
for
municipal. solid waste.
residential, right, and non-commercial uses.
Yes.
That cover it?
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
okay.
Alright.
Kristen, when we do the minutes, we'll need to try and make sure that we have coherent wording for that motion captured.
Okay. Is there anything
just-
else further?
One minor thing that's kind of come to my attention, some people think that the placards are tied to their license plates. And that is not the case.
Really? Yeah. No, I mean, they would think that.
I
because
know,
The whole
it's-
idea of a placard is you could
It's just, I know.
move it
but
around.
That's
as
just
opposed to
to make
sticker.
that crystal clear. The placards were intended to be passed between different vehicles. They are not tied to a single vehicle.
Based on the property.
Right,
Yes,
right. And if
property,
it-
not vehicle.
Right.
Why do they collect the license plates when they start with it?
Well, I
That's-
suspect that was the start
That's how
of
they
the
find the
confusion.
residents to that'll look at your registration or your driver's license.
Okay,
And less invasive
That in my town.
that way.
all righty. Anything further on? And in the meantime, you guys, excuse me, the Municipal Solid Waste Committee still be looking at beyond this
Yes,
transit period where once we're talking about just a temporary period.
Mhm.
By getting a contract to haul this stuff away and then construction happening sometime in the spring and getting to the compactors and all of that. You
Yeah.
guys will be doing all of that.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
Exciting times and talking trash.
yes.
The talk isn't over yet.
Mhm.
So I think we need, do we need to set a date unless we want to discuss this further? We probably should have a public hearing
Public hearing.
to hear what people think about this decision and any comments that they may think could be helpful
Yeah.
going forward.
So,
Dan, what was your schedule? Or maybe you don't want to be here for that, for the public hearing.
No, I absolutely will want to be here.
was it the 26th? What were we just talking about?
Well,
That's the Wednesday, because you're gonna miss the next one,
September.
right, Dan? It's the 19th. It's August.
Yeah, so the 19th I am still away.
Right, but the 26th,
It
would you
turns,
be
yeah, I get back
August?
21st, it turns out.
Well, you're talking what month? I'm sorry.
August?
August. So
Anytime after that,
It's 26. Wow.
we could, the 26th, we can have a public hearing. May take more than one potentially,
I think it will, and we should probably need to alter the time.
Right.
Start times.
Right.
So we have one in the evening and one earlier.
right?
Um,
So
Do we want to
26th,
try to do one on a Friday or a Sunday for trying to get
Yes.
some of
that's true. Yeah,
Yes.
we could do that as well.
in October?
probably, I mean, we could look at it, mm, we may want to do it, well, Labor Day falls late this time.
It is
right?
late,
It's the
yeah.
7th.
Yes, because we could look at Friday, August 28th.
Yeah, that's what I was, I think at 6 o'clock.
Mhm.
And then have another one later to cover people who can't make that meeting.
Yeah, but this,
And to see if we have any changes, we may change our mind on some of the issues here,
right, or things may come up,
or something may come up will
Um,
cause us to change our mind.
yes.
So, yeah, either day, the 26th or the 28th, at least let's get one meeting, then we can decide based on
And we're
Are
Are you
saying
around the
6 p.m.
28th?
6
I'll be
p.m.
here.
28th?
So
Should we do the Friday then? 6 o'clock?
on the 28th of August,
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Yes.
all right.
It's in my calendar.
Get the right month here.
So Rich, is this a hearing or an information session?
No, it'll be a public hearing. It's
this is a big change.
a big change. I have a public hearing.
Yeah,
We'll hear what folks say and then we'll either confirm our decision, discuss it, confirm our decision, or decide to make changes. The purpose of a public hearing, yeah. Okay. Write that down, so 8/28,
Okay.
public hearing at 6 p.m. All right, anything else on municipal solid waste?
No, I mentioned I mentioned the RFI selection, and that
Right.
means that they haven't had their next meeting to discuss it, but.
Okay, we'll wait for that
We'll wait for that
recommendation.
recommendation to
going
come out.
forward. Right.
I do think we should go to questions. I just want to make you
Yeah.
aware that Chuck Pike is
Yep,
here.
I've seen,
Our
Chuck, to
owner's
talk
project
about
manager for wastewater
okay,
treatment, so.
all right,
He's here.
so are there any questions, and we can move on to that?
I do have quick questions. I just want to make sure that I understand that the town.
actually,
Um,
Linda, just so you can be on the
Oh.
video, if people
And
yell at us,
now,
they don't.
now you're coming at us from the Municipal Solid Waste Committee?
Yes,
or the
municipal
private-
solid waste questions, Linda Coleman. So
Yeah.
the town could offer commercial trash removal for people, for commercial entities, but is choosing not to. Like, Thornton does, but Waterville Valley isn't,
No,
We don't,
that's-
our permit currently doesn't allow us.
and we
to-
can't.
But we are
We are-
investigating.
We are
Right.
investigating
Yeah,
it, so it's
we're-
something that's in the works. So say I am having renovations and, Will's doing it and, he has my drywall or whatever it is, and can he still dump?
Oh, well, that's always allowed, the C and D.
Yeah.
The C and D is always allowed, even
Your-
though if he's
with your-
commercial.
Right. with
It's just
your-
not municipal solid waste.
Right,
Right,
Excellent, thank you.
you can go ahead with those renovation plans.
right, just make sure he has your,
Well, no, but with C and D,
do we do,
clarify
I
that
thought-
for me.
I thought we had a special placard actually for C and D. Will, how did we handle C and D?
I received, stickers.
Right.
Actually,
Right,
just for C and D and whatever way.
right, we had a separate category,
Yeah, I think it was a different color and everything, but.
right, but we've not integrated that into our placard system,
I
right?
thought there were
Right.
different placards for that.
I did
We
too.
haven't done that. Yeah, that's what I was asking. I
Okay.
don't recall agreeing to that.
I thought. we
Um,
had agreed
So
on
what do you
that.
recommend, Ed? You want to think about it?
Yes, I'll get back to you.
All right.
You
We'll have
can-
to-
You can toss it onto the MSW group.
Yeah,
Talk
why don't
about
you
it.
guys talk about it, decide how we want to handle that particular aspect of
Yeah,
commercial, as it were. But we did have with the stickers, I think we had the sticker system that we issued to local, I think, property managers, as I recall. For them to be able to use, to come in and use, even though they was paying, but to use the C and D. That's how we're
How
doing
it
it.
was operating.
Yeah, that's how it was operating. It wasn't everybody who asked one, but those businesses we knew were involved in servicing
Right.
the folks here in Waterville Valley for C and D
Yeah.
trash. Yeah, why don't you guys take a look at that and let's see how
Yeah.
you'd like to, we've got time. That
Follow up
aspect.
with our
Okay,
charger station operators.
right. Anything else? We're done with MSW?
Never done.
Hmm. Right. Okay.
Before I just want to
Mhm.
add to new business. I know Patty was here to talk about the election. but
Yes.
We also have Chuck Pike. I don't know which way you guys want to go. You can wait.
Are you
Okay,
sure?
That was my, thank you.
Okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to the wastewater treatment plant project update. Chuck, good to see you. Chuck Pike is the town's project manager for this project. So let's go ahead, start it up.
All right. I'm assuming the things you'd like to know is what's going on, what's coming up over the next few weeks, and the impact on the schedule and the overall budget for the project. So we can handle those in any order you're interested in. So
Yep. Pick one.
all right. All right. So yeah. So what we've been doing, what the design team has been doing is working off of the value engineering comments, the suggestions for other things to consider, ways to reduce, specifically ways to reduce costs at the plant, and a few of the ideas that have risen to the top that we've been working with. One of them is to eliminate sludge dewatering at the facility, which gets rid of a whole piece, the whole part of the facility, in which case we would be hauling liquid sludge to Plymouth, where they would do the dewatering along with theirs as well. So that looks very promising. That could reduce the capital costs of the project and also some of the impacts of the project. So we're just running the numbers on that to convince ourselves that it's actually going to realize the advantages that we think it will. So that's being worked on right now, which is a significant piece. Also, the flows and loads to the facility with the change in the situation with the resort. And, we're looking at one point in time of running a wastewater line up the mountain, a new wastewater line. So since that's not on the table right now, we revised the flows and loads to the plant downward, which is helpful also. And we're looking at the preliminary treatment and pumping and equalization of making that reducing the amount of equipment we need there. Also, the carbon filters, which were the last piece of treatment. We have carbon filters right now. We believe that the treatment plant without carbon filters will meet the discharge requirements. And if you ever needed them in the future, we're thinking we could just leave space so that you can add them if you need them, but we don't need to put them in now, which will also reduce costs. So the bottom line is that the cost is going downward. It's going in the right direction for a number of reasons. As we're looking at this, optimizing the design team is taking a look at the new flows and loads and the impacts of the VE analysis and reviewing the design layout to optimize that on the site. And so that's going on. We're working with the lagoons we have many years of sludge accumulated in the lagoons. And so the week of August 17th, we have a subcontractor coming in to estimate the quantity of solids that are in the lagoons and the sludge lagoons, and also take some samples to determine the quality so we can come up with a plan for disposing of that as we're moving forward here, which will help out on a number of fronts. So, so the other thing is we're going on right now is we're doing the MBR system, which is a critical component of the whole facility. We want to pre-select that, and that will become part of the contractor's bid package. So we will tell them, we'll negotiate a price, and we'll tell the contractor who to use, because the facility will be designed around that. And also the process guarantees that we need from the MBR, the firm that's providing that, we want to make sure that's all nailed down in advance so we don't have problems with that in the future. So those are all things that are going on right now with the design. We're picking up from the preliminary design, just making some adjustments before we pick up the design full bore again. So we're on schedule with that effort. So the overall project cost and the treatment plant project cost that we were looking at before, I think was 76.8 million for construction costs. And for the entire project cost, which would include things like the lagoon dewatering, the short-term maintenance things that we need to do, the wastewater main up the mountain, I think the entire project cost was like 117 million.
Mhm.
And that should be going down by at least $15 million and potentially more than that. So the cost update should be coming the beginning of September. I think it's September 4th when we'll have a revised cost. So they're working on that right now. So that's what's going on with the budget, what's coming, what we've been doing and what's coming up. The other thing that we're working on is getting funding for this. Oh, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick question. The 117 million number that we had before.
Yeah.
Included, I think it was roughly, what, 10 to 12 million dollars for the line to the
Yes.
mountain.
Yeah.
So
That's
if
about right.
If you reduce
Yeah.
that, you mentioned the cost would come down, you're saying like 15 million. But obviously, there has to be more cost savings than $5 million with all the other changes that we've made.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. At least that much. So it's potentially quite a bit more. So, but I want to wait to see, for example, on the sludge, the biggest potential cost savings is if we can remove the sludge dewatering. Also, it's going to make the operations of the plant a whole lot easier. I mean, I believe that's going to be cost advantageous. Plymouth is very open to working out an arrangement with the Waterville Valley. So, that would be reducing it further from that too.
So that's a reduction in operations cost.
What's that?
That would result in a reduction in the yearly operations costs.
Yes, yes, that's the idea. So we would look at the capital costs would definitely go down. The operations cost should as well because of the staffing. You wouldn't need to run the dewatering equipment and having to heat and odor control that whole area of the plant. There's a number of potential savings here, and the trade-off is that we'd be hauling more frequently because you're hauling 2% sludge to Plymouth on a regular basis. So we have to run the costs for that versus dewatering and then hauling sludge cake.
This is a very soft number, I think, is what you're telling us at this point.
Right. So yeah, yes, that's right. So it's I think we're being very safe in throwing that number out to say that there's potential for it to go down significantly based on things that we're looking at, but that's what we're confident about right now.
Okay.
So firmer numbers should be coming in early September. Is that what you said?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I'm mentioning this is there are random numbers being bandied about in town and so forth. And so when you give a number, people will pick up on that, and
right.
It's like lighting a match under a dry forest around here. So we just be very careful about what we're saying.
Yeah, and I completely get that. I realize from sitting into the town meeting a few months ago what a very important issue it is for the community, and I want to be careful in not over promising anything to say that this is what we're looking at right here, but there's potential for more savings that we're looking at. But the design team is working very hard to look at how can we optimize the design, and are things that we just don't need to include in the plant based on reduced flows and other ways we can optimize the facility.
Okay.
Can you speak to the efforts that you guys are doing with respect to trying to get funding? That's also an area where there's been a lot of interest around town.
Yeah, I can. I'm just there are, part of the scope of work for Black and Beach is to pursue the state and federal funding, any other funding that's out there. The design team has identified 6 programs at this point in time. If and when we turn others up, we'll be pursuing them as well. But there are 3 with the state. The state aid grants, the Clean Water Revolving Fund, and the block grants, the community development block grants. What's been done so far is on the state grants, we've submitted the pre-application for that with the town. On the clean water state revolving funds, we're on the priority list. There is a meeting tomorrow, a hearing tomorrow that Black and Beach will have somebody participating in that meeting to find out. We're on the priority list. The question is about who's going to get funded, and then the question is, if we're not funded on this cycle, then there's always the potential to do it the next round. And on the block development grants, the application cycle, the deadline for that is mid-January. So we would have a pre-application meeting with the state before filling that out and pursuing that. And then on the federal side, there are 3 things. There's the Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act, otherwise known as WIFIA. And we're working with the town. We plan to get started on that shortly to take advantage of that. For small communities, the application fees, I believe, are waived for that to apply for that. Also, the USDA Water and Waste Disposal Loan and Grant. That's the submittal is due by mid-January also. So we're planning to work with the town to get that in. And I think there's one other federal program as well. So we're doing that. We have people who are working specifically that's what they do at Black and Beach. They do the grant and loan applications, and so they know what the programs are and how to stay on top of this. And also they'll be meeting with the town every 6 months to review the status of these things and what we have to do and what else is out there. So that's what's being done.
Okay. I actually had a question along the same train of thought. I noticed in the timeline that the project funding is listed going through December 3rd of 27. Now, I was under the impression that we could keep, as you said earlier, applying for the next rounds. So this deadline, is that end of 27 a real deadline? Can that be extended to end of 28? I mean, as long as construction is happening, can we be applying for?
Yeah. What I have been told is that if we don't get in this funding cycle for this year, we can apply for the next funding cycle for next year. So it's an annual funding cycle. Beyond, once construction gets started, as far as what the rules are for that, I don't know. But it's not a one-time only thing. That you can apply if we don't get funded this particular year, we can apply again.
Okay, thank you.
Chuck, from your perspective, are we on track and on schedule with all activities at this point, especially with respect to the EPA and, New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services?
Yeah, I got a updated schedule, very detailed schedule from the project team, and talked to Will Walkup, the project manager, about where we are on the schedule for this project. And he said that the only thing, he said, we're spending a little more time on the layout optimization. He said, but we're also proceeding on the design in parallel with that. So we're not losing any time with that. We're not going to miss any of our deadlines. So that's, at this point in time, everything looks good. We're on schedule.
Okay.
Chuck, am I able to push you guys for that number earlier than September?
Push me all you want. I don't know what the number is, but we can, Will likes to, I mean, for one thing, Black and Veatch is, I know from lots of experience, that we're very sensitive about cost estimate numbers. So we want to be very sure, we'll get it from our cost estimating team, and Will's going to take a good hard look and beat up on it and push back if anything doesn't look right. So it all depends on when he's happy with it. But he gave us the date of September 4th, factoring in time for that. So that's what that's the best I know.
Thank you. Just want to update everybody that we meet every Monday, Chuck and I, along with Will Walkup and Steve, and have these in-depth conversations. When he was talking about the MBR, for those that don't know, that's the membrane bioreactor, which is the system that we're going with. So that's what we're trying to select on the BABA, the Buy America, Build America requirements here. So it's a big important part of the process. And we've been drilling down on that and many other issues in our Monday morning meetings. So
good. Anything else you'd like to report, Chuck, or you pretty much covered it?
No, there's hundreds of details on a little project.
Yeah,
like,
we don't need the hundreds of
high level
details. I know you engineers want to, you'll geek out on all the engineering details, but
I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to subject you to that. So I'll just try to think of what are the things that are going to be of concern for you guys, and those are the highlights.
great.
Thank you for your update. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
This-
I guess
today.
one
Go ahead,
quick
Wendy.
thing,
Yeah.
I assume working through what could work for renewable energy is always part of the discussion.
That is definitely part of the project. That's one of the things that we're looking at. And with the challenge here, and I've worked on projects in very unforgiving climates where we look at potential for alternative energy and energy recovery, things like that. And so the challenge of any of the things that we're looking at, Black and Veatch, a lot of people don't realize that Black and Veatch is one of the biggest companies in the world in terms of alternative energy. We have a massive power business that's bigger than the water wastewater. So we do a lot of alternative energy work, wind and solar, and everything else. So the challenge is the payback on this. Say, okay, we can do anything. What's the payback? Is this economical? Is it going to pay itself off? So that's what we have to look at with any of these things with Saudi. So I know we're going to look at it, but we'll tell you the truth in terms of what's the is this going to be advantageous for Waterville Valley?
Yep, that's what we need. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck. I hope this will allay some of the concerns around town. There seems to be a lot of misinformation that the select board or Black and Veatch sort of sitting on their hands or deer in the headlights or something like that, and not paying attention to funding or schedules. And that's far from the case, and has for a long time far from the case. So thank you for outlining that stuff.
We do this all the time, and this is what we do, and this is a huge part of the work that we do. We have people that are dedicated just to stay on top of all the funding issues, and like I said, there's somebody's going to participate in the meeting with the state tomorrow. So I check with those people, and they're on it.
Great, thank you. I think which leads me to my to move to communication. We had talked about a public hearing sometime this fall so that we can bring all this together. This will happen after you complete this re-engineering process and get harder numbers for us to chew on. Do we have an idea of when we'd like to do that, when you guys would be comfortable going forward with what will be a very well attended and smart, sharp audience to anything that you or we may say? In general terms, I'm not on for a specific date, but when do you think, from your perspective, such a important presentation could happen?
Yeah, the further you go down, the 60% design is going to be the next major milestone,
December.
which is going to be, that's December. So, you can wait until then, or you could present it prior to that time. It's really up to you.
Yeah,
Well-
that's really, I believe, too late for the community's sake.
Well,
Well,
but
it depends on accuracy though.
yeah, I want to make sure we have the hardest number.
Sure.
What,
Well,
so,
yeah, I think, I think you could have a productive meeting in the fall and get people,
Okay.
a lot of these, the bigger issues are all getting sorted out now. So, I'd like to ask Will what he thinks, but I think that having a meeting
okay,
mid to late fall is that could be productive.
well, late fall runs from mid-September to mid-December. So, yeah, well, I think that's where we're at, somewhere in that time frame, perhaps on the
Yeah,
early side of late
My
fall.
thought is if we get a number in early September, the
Yeah.
preliminary number,
Yeah,
we can disseminate that information.
Sure,
you know,
absolutely.
through news and views and our CS mailer and our website, and any way we can get it out there.
right.
So we have the preliminary number shared with the community, so we've
Right.
satisfied that portion. And then if we can do, a 60% design in December, I think we'd be satisfying both those. I just want to make sure we're also giving,
That's my concern as
you
well.
know, hard numbers and hard facts,
Yeah.
and at 60%, I think we can do that. I think anything before that, I think the preliminary number that comes out in September,
Mhm.
we can do our best as a board and administrative staff to get it out to the community and ask the community to share that information once it's out there.
And we can discuss that at a select board meeting without having a separate
Yeah.
public hearing.
Sure.
Mhm.
And then we can decide, when would be best. But I think that 60%
Yeah.
of engineering update is, that we're pretty much locked in by then, right? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I
60%
think,
locked in.
within the next couple of months,
Yeah.
as you go along in the design, the things that can affect the cost become less and less. You're making the big decisions up front on the project. So we have a few of those things that we're wrestling to the ground now, like this whole sludge
Mhm.
question. So question I would have is when this cost opinion comes back September 4th, well, that could include the sludge facilities in there, which may drop out. So I think once that's all decided and everybody agrees to that, you're going to have a much more accurate number. So if we can have a more accurate, particularly lower number, I think that's to everybody's advantage.
Sure.
Sure.
All right.
All right. No, I think that covers that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
This has been a helpful update. Thank you.
Very.
Okay, my pleasure. Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck.
All right, bye.
Bye now. That only leaves anything we'd like to say on the legal side of this? Any updates there?
Legal side that, we just talked about, and while we're sitting here, I got 2 emails and both the individuals have responded to our offers. So hopefully they're
Oh,
positive. So
okay.
we're being closer to our staffing needs.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
And to get them on board as soon as possible, I
Yes.
guess was part of the offer.
Yes.
Great.
All right, anything else on the project that Dan?
No,
or Wendy
I'm
would like to
good.
talk about it this
Thank you.
time? Okay, no, thank you. Very good to hear Chuck lay out, I think, what they've been doing and that we've been aware of
Yeah.
through your
Right.
updates to us. We've kept Patty here waiting through all this, but I'm sure this is all interesting stuff for the most part.
Because I'm always
So,
happy when I.
Patty,
here.
town moderator, so let me introduce
Yes,
you
my
properly.
name is Patty Fergal. I am the town
We
moderator.
have an election coming up,
Yes, we have an election. Some people think I just do town meeting. I also run the elections.
right?
So I'm here to touch base with the select
Mhm.
board because you have roles and responsibilities for all elections. One of them is you have to be there the whole day, or a quorum of the select board has to be there.
Sure.
So I need to make sure at least 2 of you will be there.
We'll work out a schedule on the 8th of
Yes.
September,
Yes,
Right.
and whatever you want to do is fine.
right? What will the day be? Oh, well,
So it's
you got
September
it.
8th. The polling hours we have noticed is 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the gym, at the rec center gymnasium at the school.
So all that is decided.
Yes, yes. We can extend hours, but we can't
Have,
make,
that's
have
the
less
minimum for
for,
the state.
for
right.
state or federal elections. For town meeting, we can do whatever we want for hours, but for state and federal elections,
I
11
think
to
11 to
7.
7 for
This
this
is-
primary
yeah.
is going to be good enough.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. The other thing I need from you guys is you need to be there at the end of the night after counting is done to sign
Right.
and seal the ballot boxes. Those have to be sealed. And the other thing I always ask of you, if you're available to help count the ballots, we would be happy to have that help because it's gonna be a couple hours after 7
Sure.
PM.
So-
So.
Yeah.
So that's all I.
Rinse, wash, repeat. So,
Yes, and then our next election is the general election on November 3rd, same
Right.
hours, same place, same requests for the select board.
okay.
Thank
Do
you.
we want to, is there anything you need from us in terms of a motion or anything now? Are we all set
Set for that.
as far as the, yeah.
I did send you the list of the ballot clerks we have. We have a
Yes.
great group of volunteer residents who are our ballot clerks who do an outstanding job and are really do their best to be available for the elections. So I supplied that updated list to you. We lost a couple people, gained a couple
Mhm.
people. So the challenge there is always pairing up Republicans and Democrats.
Right.
We have to try to do that, and most of our residents are undeclared. So that makes it a little tougher, but we do our best.
We can still
What
do it.
makes it
right?
tougher? You can't just have.
Well,
Uh,
because
post it.
if there's only one Democrat and one Republican and the other
Right, that's
15
okay.
are undeclared, it's
Yeah.
kind of, and you have,
And it's, right.
you need 8 shifts of ballot clerks or
Gotcha.
8 spots
Yeah,
to
yeah,
fill,
yeah, I
so
hadn't
it's
thought
kind of
about
tough.
that. Okay. Oh,
Okay. Alrighty, so the primary is set for 8 September. And we will be holding the balloting at the gymnasium at the elementary school from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So everyone, please show up and do your civic duty. And I guess we need to decide, we can decide at any time, but we'll get you our schedules, and so you need 2 out of 3 of us for that 8-hour period, plus all of us afterward for certification.
My schedule's open, so.
Okay. We can
That helps.
figure it out. We don't have to hold things up
Yeah.
here now.
Yeah.
We could just do that administratively. Okay,
All right.
but while I have Patty here, thank you for that information about the digitization. From putting on your president of the Historical Society hat on. I think, Ed, you've seen it, right?
Yep.
And so, yeah, I think that is something we definitely, maybe not with that company, but I think we're definitely want the digitization and have funds in next year's budget, hopefully approved by the town.
Please, the more we can get out of the attic and onto electronic
Yes.
data
Yeah.
would be wonderful.
Yes.
The easier it will be for us to not only do, for you guys, town
Mm.
staff to do work, but for research to be done and for people to have their inquiries much more quickly and easily handled with regard to records. So that is great. So thank you very much for
I think
it.
I told you, we did decide. we're
You
not
decide
gonna
not
do
to
that.
not to
Not,
go
not
with
with
them,
that
but
company, but
yeah,
We're gonna do it ourselves. The
Okay.
Right.
donors Giving
We
us
had a-
funds for a scanner,
some generous
very generous.
folks helping out. And I think that for us, I think being able to scan to search the scanned documents is going to be critical. So that's
Yes.
something we definitely have to look at least for most documents, I suspect.
I look
At least
forward
in
to
my
donating
opinion.
on this. So, yes.
Great. So thank you very much for that information, and hopefully we'll move along on that next year. Okay, so we're back to road projects. Other than Boulder Path and Snows Mountain, is there anything else on road projects, Ed? Any of the engineering work, I guess?
Yeah,
that's left?
so I've gotten some design, engineering design back on, and I forget names, Beam Bender.
You're up in Cascade Ridge.
Cascade, Beam Bender, and
Cascade,
what's the other one there?
Cascade Ridge Road.
Ridge Road.
Beam Bender,
Beam Bender.
we
And then
were
Lost
doing
Lost
Lost
Path,
Path.
thank you, yeah.
Right,
So we've got some engineering back, and I
Mhm.
have, like, again, I have a call with HEB tomorrow to review that, as well as set up that public hearing, so the presentation for a public hearing, so. But nothing really to report yet. Those are out another year or so.
Right.
So,
And we still have to get to West Branch,
Branch,
which we
yeah.
delayed and
Mhm.
not just delayed, but we reprogrammed the funds to take care of other roads.
correct, yeah.
But that's still on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have an update on the Tripoli Road permissions thing?
From
I don't have an
update from the Forest Service.
Yeah.
That being said, my conversations with our road agent, Megan, is that her last conversation with them was, yes, you could potentially pave it, but you can't make it wider or make any improvements to it. And, we certainly would want to build it to road standard if we're gonna do it. They're out there today, right now, patching potholes.
Right,
So, but,
right.
um,
It's just, I want to make sure that that's not getting lost, if you will, in the thing, because
Well,
at some point, the road will need to be
Yeah.
done, so it's just if we need permission, I'd rather have the permission in hand, even if I hold the permission for a year before I actually pave a road, if you will,
Mhm.
than to get into the situation we're in right now where we basically pulled that warrant out last year because we don't have permission to do that work.
yeah, but well, we have
So-
we have a difference on that particular part of it. But we're in a bit of a bind here because that road is still passable, but there are issues with it. And waiting for the permission of the Forest Service, we could be waiting for years with those guys. I think at some point we just have to take the bull by the horns and do what needs to be done. But
Well, yeah, and by modifications.
Right.
How strict a definition is that? I mean, we want to build it to a better standard, to better,
we want,
Under
so we have
whatever.
our standards for road construction in
Right.
Waterville. And we want to meet those standards, and currently that
Right.
road would not meet it if we
It-
just paved
in
over.
Paved it
term,
over,
right, in
right.
terms of the drainage underneath it and all the
Correct,
substrate. that's
So,
what I mean.
yeah,
So
so.
is that does that fall within their definition of, I mean, if we're not making it any wider, it's just a little bit deeper, so it drains better.
So a full box restoration,
Right.
would be digging down, the 12 to 16 inches to
Right.
put in better. That's what we would prefer to do,
Sure.
so that we weren't going back and doing it over and
in
over.
5
which
years,
is what
yeah.
we do now.
Right, so, and my understanding, from Megan is that permission wasn't granted, that if you wanted to grind and repave, that they wouldn't have an issue with it, but if we wanted to do more.
Right, that was where
They
she-
weren't gonna grant permission for it, that we'd have to meet their road standards, which I'd have to find out what they are, but I've driven III. They don't have much for standards.
No,
Yeah.
that's the
Or
thing,
they're just not applying them, they let it go because.
Yeah.
Right.
right,
But in any event, I think you're still looking at arranging a meeting with Brooke.
Yes, yeah,
The-
with
with the
several
district
subjects to go
ranger,
over. Yeah,
West
I've
Sudville,
met
and
with
see
her
if we
once
can-
already, but
yeah.
that ties into a multiple.
Number of issues.
issues to
And I
discuss with
think
Brooke.
it's a matter of seeing if we can get some
Mm,
preliminary decision from them to satisfy the concern Dan expressed about permission and
Right.
the condition of that road. And it is important, it is a bypass, and in some circumstances, it is an emergency
yeah.
road,
Yeah.
not all, but on some, so
Mhm.
that is a concern.
It's our way home tonight.
Well, yeah, it certainly is, but yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, anything else on roads at this
Not at this point.
point? Okay. So on the next item, the Beacon property, which is 19 Snows Mountain Road. I think you and Steve have come up with a plan to move forward on this and put this behind us.
Correct. So Beacon property, 19 Snows Mountain Road, you guys voted and approved for abatement for 2025 to reduce the property tax on a non-buildable lot
mhm,
down to $560. With that, they haven't paid their taxes since 2019 because they were waiting for this. My understanding is there was lots of conversations between the previous town manager and the property owner that this would be addressed. And up to on Mark's unfortunate passing, we've been left with it. So in reviewing it and in conversations with Kristen, and Steve and I, we've decided to put forward, to waive any and all penalties and interest on the unpaid taxes from 2019 through 2025. And then to modify the abatement to the valuation that's set to today for the previous year. So it would be $560 times 6. So it would be, the taxes owed would be $3,360. So if you guys could vote for that abatement,
And this will close it out
yeah,
for all
And,
parties.
yeah, RSA 851.5. I looked it up to make sure that you guys could go back multiple years and
Okay,
it's there.
so you need a
What was
motion.
that RSA?
RSA 851.5,
Okay,
or
So
actually
you-
:5.
cool. So you need a motion to approve settlement of the property tax issue from 2019 forward on 19 Snows Mountain Road for a sum of,
$3,360.
right. A tax collector have that number? Okay,
I
Do we
will
have a second?
second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. That's- Financial report. Anybody have anything they'd like to raise on the financial report, that report provided to us? In a meeting packet?
What's the plan for planning? Since it's right up against the budgeted amount.
So the planning board has been made aware that they have
Yeah.
reached their cap on the services from Northern Country Council. Is that, am I saying county, country, what is it?
North Country.
NCC.
North Country
Council.
Council.
Say NCC, will know what you mean.
Yeah,
NCC.
NCC.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about working in Waterville Valley is the amount of acronyms I have
Acronyms,
to
so
look
many.
at, how many overlap.
Like
and
works
so
for the
many
federal
different-
government.
Oh, my goodness. They're aware that the services and Liz, their representative from the council, has agreed to lessen her hours to try to provide as much support, through email, correspondence instead of attending. So
Okay.
we're not paying for travel time. We're not paying for attended meetings. We're just paying for emailed questions. And she's going to watch the meetings, and if she can remote in, potentially she'll do that. If not, she'll review the meeting and then add comment. Also working forward, the next planning board meeting, I've asked Dave Noyes to attend with me to help support, at least review the master plan with the planning board again and talk about the direction that they're working in, and just to make sure that we're, as they're developing and designing, some of the requirements under architectural, landscape and parking, that we keep pointing them back towards the master plan as a working, living, breathing document that they should be referring to. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Dave's support on
Good.
that as we
Yeah.
move forward.
It's a good move, yeah.
yeah. So then will there be a request for more funds? I mean, we're halfway through the year.
And they need that, well,
August,
she's gonna be
and there's
critical for the
warrants.
warrants for the zoning, so we'll have to probably plus them up a bit out of contingency, I imagine. We need to get, I guess we'll need to get from them / you and Liz what they think that number will be.
Yeah, I'll make that request, get a number to finish up.
Might as well get that moving.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything else on the budget, either the expenses or the revenues, or anything you'd like to note, Ed, like a
Nope.
note on either?
We've been spending a little bit of money with legal on settlement for payment of a water main break that was deemed an emergency.
Right,
So we've been going back and forth. So there's some expense with legal on that, and then contingency, we're desperately trying to hold on to a little bit that's in
Yeah.
there, so.
yeah,
Yeah,
still got a ways to go this year.
Mhm.
just a couple tiny things.
Yeah.
The other general government expenditures went
What
down.
number? I'm sorry. what
Oh, sorry, 4199.
419.
It's just the
Got it. Okay.
year-to-date spent went down from the last time, and it's a small amount, but I'm assuming it's something money just been put in a different
Misappropriated
category,
before.
yeah.
I can ask that question to Katie.
And
Happy
then-
to find out.
And then my only other tiny thing is the font is getting tinier. Can, can it go the other way again? This was.
Well,
much
you could do
easier than
this, no, you could.
Well, no, I printed
I-
out, you know, anyway.
Happy to
Yes.
ask that. It would help
Yeah.
me too.
Thank you.
I'm still looking for 40199, so.
Yeah, and we don't need to have it necessarily on one page or 2 pages. It could be.
Yeah.
Larger.
Yeah.
So that those of us with bad eyes. Okay. Anything else, Wendy or Dan? I don't have anything further to add on. Budget, everything seems to be going per plan. 64% expended. Given where we are, that's about right.
Yeah.
As always.
We have a plow truck lease where we still have the full amount for that. What's the intent there?
What line are you looking at, Dan?
It's GL number 4902, machinery, vehicles and equipment,
Got it?
and
Right. You're looking at.
so we
the-
haven't, is that we haven't executed that lease yet? Or?
This is 775, is that the one you're looking at? Oh, no, sorry.
4902-800.
800, gotcha. I see, where we haven't spent the money yet.
Do we not have that truck, or is that I was wondering if that was part of one of these yearly leases that we have.
Yeah, but perhaps, yeah. At least this isn't due yet, depending when we got the truck.
Yeah, I'll find out. Good question.
Mhm. There are a couple of them like that. Right.
Yeah, the other one I had a question about was the DPS replacement doors.
Yeah,
4902-809.
yeah, the 15,000 that was allocated for that was for 2 doors,
Mhm.
and our best guess at this point, I did talk to Dave Noyes about it, and we're not sure we can get both doors done at 15,000. So this is something we actually talked about this week when National Night Out was over. We're going to revisit this because we have 2 main doors for town hall, the back door and the main door, that also stick quite a bit. So I asked that, we tap the money for those 2 doors and maybe 1 overhead door, because it says door replacement we might need to do. Right now, if you're Kristen, you look out the window and you just say, pull harder,
Yeah,
and it's very not welcoming for people coming to town hall.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we do want to be welcoming.
yes, so
So-
we need to address that.
Okay,
And when people leave out of my office to go out the back door, I say, give it a hip check.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I know
do we
that.
have a legal issue there?
No, it's doors.
Because we approved probably that $15,000 as part of a warrant.
Right, was it, but you looked at the language, is what you're saying, and it's doors?
It's doors, it's replacement doors, and the building ties to DPS, so, and it's a function of safety.
Yeah.
We can check closer.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're
Yeah.
just over and above board there. Just
Me too. I certainly don't
make
want
sure
anybody
we're
getting in
not-
any trouble.
getting in trouble. Okay,
Anything else?
those were the questions I had.
Okay. Can we move on to calendar review then?
Yeah.
Good. So planning board meets on the 13th here at 8:30 PM. All right.
So, are you gonna cover for me on that one?
I'm planning to, right,
Okay.
because you're gonna be out of
Yeah,
town, right?
'cause I know.
Yeah. Regular select board meeting, our next one is on the 19th of August here at 3 PM. And the budget advisory committee is planning to meet on the 1st of September here at 9:30 AM.
Correct. Yep.
And we added 9 AM on the 23rd of September. Well, we added the
Yes.
municipal solid, well, first we added municipal solid waste, 6 PM on 8/28,
Yes.
a public hearing. Right,
And then.
and then we're gonna meet,
executive meeting.
we have an executive meeting at 9 AM. Yeah, on the 23rd of September. Okay,
Oh, of September.
that's of September, yeah, so.
Yeah, I got that one.
and I think we got
I
every,
will miss the next select board meeting because I'm still out of the country.
okay, Wendy and I will,
So
we'll take
I
care of it.
trust you guys, so.
One of us will not bail.
Yeah,
We'll both
we'll
be
be
here.
here, as far as I know.
You can go to Scotland.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Correspondence, should we move on to correspondence then?
Yes.
Anything
Sure.
else? Anybody have anything on correspondence? I should say, do we get anything on correspondence?
So I have. The most important, I think, to bring to light was we got a 91A request for an attorney representing the resort and Tyrell development, just asking for more documents on the original 1986 agreement
Mhm.
for the sewer line coming down the mountain, and some other pertinent information. In the 91A request, we asked for more time for some of the documents, so they just highlighted 2 simple documents, that being the priority, that agreement.
Right.
And then
Not unexpected.
and then any designs that we have, and we just directed them to our website for any designs that are public to date.
Fair enough.
You know, I'm sure they'll be following closely along with when we get to 60% and all that, so. And then we've also received emails, both in support and not in support of settling the payment with the resort for the transit use of their busing.
Mhm.
And then we've also got a lot of in that we have one written letter that I got in the mail yesterday that I haven't had a chance to copy, but I'll share with you, that just speaks strongly in favor of us continuing to fund our quarter share of the
The shuttle service,
of
yeah.
the shuttle service, yeah.
Okay,
So outside of that.
Okay. Anybody have any comments on any of that correspondence at this point?
No.
No, all right. Board concerns and directives, you guys have anything?
A couple of things. I don't know if you know, Ed, has Brooke reached out to the WVLA in regards to the Freedom Pass for 2027? It would seem as though before budget season creeps up, we'll want to know if they're planning on including the boats, climbing wall in the Freedom Pass.
So I've been in communication with James Sununu on the boats, because
okay.
they are looking to change their reimbursement on the Freedom Pass to a different model. And so he looked for the what we collected from them over the past 5 years. I
Mhm.
provided that information as an average, and they were going to budget it that way moving forward. So it'll be a one-time payment as opposed to reimbursement, and then we'd be responsible for tracking the numbers, and if it was up or down, we'd adjust for the payment for the following year. So
Hmm.
that's their new budgeting model. So I've been talking to James about that. He was asking about cost and maintenance of our boats, if I would share that with him, and I got the email during this meeting, so.
How does that work with our budgeting process?
Well, it goes into our revenues.
It goes into our revenue, and it is a little bit simpler because we collect the money, so we'll know the number. You know, once we have an agreement, we're not looking for reimbursement of each and every Freedom Pass that is ticketed to the boats. You know, every time we collect one, we have to submit for reimbursement.
Okay.
So budgeting wise, it makes it easier. I don't know if it makes it better or fair.
Well, except we'll still have to keep track.
We'll keep track, but we don't have to submit. And the other thing is, then we just have to
Right.
adjust for the following years.
And
Each
they,
year,
all right.
so.
So
Yeah,
just meaning let's say the boats were used less, then we would pay them back, or?
No, we would just let them know that moving forward that we didn't. The boats weren't used as much as anticipated under their budgeting, and this was last year's numbers, and then they can decide to keep funding it at that number or go down.
So rather than reimbursing on a use, it'll be a set
Okay.
amount
Mhm.
that we would agree on, and then you would modify either up or down
Each
based
year.
on the activity during the year.
Correct.
So we had budgeted 36,500 for revenue for that, and so far we've not, obviously, we're still in the year, but say of the 30,000 Freedom Pass income, we've received $7,918
But
and 10
that's
cents.
only through June.
That's only
because
through
it
June, and this
lasts.
is when everything is gonna kick off,
Right.
so we're gonna have to see
Yeah.
the number, and when we, I assume we'll shut down the boats the usual time, and then we can see where we want to go to this number. Given his other, or this process, or bail from the program. Interesting questions, with regard to, our costs, suggests they may be interested in actually
So it
running that program.
Yeah, so it appears to me that they're looking to continue with the Freedom Pass and funding the program.
Right,
I have talked to Brooke about it. She has raised some concerns with going to this model.
Mhm.
And she's hopeful that, it'll work out with the WVLA, so
okay. we'll have
And
to
would the
talk about it.
climbing wall still be part of the formula or?
I can ask that question
Okay.
for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll have to look at that whole thing once.
Just to give you an idea, the average over the last 5 years, collected was 32,725.
Mhm.
So
And that's it, is that including 2020?
that's 21 through 25.
Okay.
We don't count 2020.
No, I just want to make sure.
No, that's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah,
The reason for your question is we don't count
yeah.
Mhm.
because it's such an outlier.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
you had some more?
yeah, there are some trees growing out of the stone tower. Small ones, and I would hate to have our constructed ruin become an actual ruin, so I don't know if those could just be snipped
Yeah.
before they roots
Yeah.
any damage.
I had one resident comment to me that whole area was looking a bit ragged,
Mm,
so
yeah, I know it's hard with
the budget
budgeting,
cuts and
staffing and
whatnot.
whatnot, but that
We
could
do.
lead to a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had talked about moving a couple of the lights from the middle of the bridge onto the path between Town Square and Golden Eagle Lodge, and I wasn't sure where we're at with that. That process,
Yeah.
if we can still swing it this year. It's just,
And we
says-
certainly want to do it before fall.
Can you say it again from the bridge?
yeah, there are 6 lights on the bridge and it's really, really overkill. It's
Yeah, you
blinding.
don't need as much.
And so the middle, we had talked about taking the middle 2 lights and moving those onto the path, because we do need better lighting on that path.
Going from the Sally Port and under the Golden Eagle down to the bridge, that path
That
there.
path
Yeah.
up,
Right,
Yeah.
which
Up and
is,
under.
which has been a perennial problem, but
As the days
hopefully,
get shorter, yeah, the Golden Eagles tried like solar lighting and stuff, but I
Right.
think having just lighting that's
Not
on.
enough sun.
It's, yeah,
and that's that whole lighting area, and then Village Trail, of course, is an issue with the broken lights.
that
Lights are fixed.
too.
Hmm?
Yes.
They are,
The new lights are on the path.
excellent.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just on this weekend, really?
I have pictures they were put in yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yesterday, good.
So,
Awesome.
are those on a timer? I forget how we do those lights.
They're on a timer
On
on
a
the bridge.
timer, right.
Because they went out for a while and it was.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
son and I went there. My son happened to be visiting me and we took a walk and I'm looking around. He goes over and goes, GFI's bad.
Yeah.
And so Megan was able to call the electrician out and they were able to reset it and
Great,
Nice.
so I have
Good,
some, yeah, obviously, it'll be much more critical come,
Yes.
the darker months.
yeah,
Now
the
they're
darker
coming,
months.
Still looking for some sort of summary to send to the Merrimack River Council. Of the wastewater treatment facility, just like, and then we talked about before, a summary sheet. Just to,
This is the result of your contact with them. They asked for some sort of
right. just
background /
before
summary.
Before they would, and this isn't
Right.
for funding, this is for potential support for funding,
Mhm.
as we're moving forward with that, it'd be nice to have them on our side. And, they were very vague with what they wanted with their requests, but I figured that they don't need a 20-page document to weed through.
Yeah.
Like we talked about.
Well, this will
before.
certainly alert them, as we've talked about, to the issue that impacts them in some measure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
they were very clear. They definitely consider the Mad River one of their tributaries and.
Yeah.
Yes. And just a more general comment. And I think it's probably already on your radar, but going into budget season, it'd be nice to have some sort of a plan for the dam where it's easier to control the blocks. Like I said,
Well,
I
that
figure it's
whole
already
issue-
on your radar.
Yeah,
But
that whole issue, I think,
Mhm.
I think Ed's aware of our concern about.
Yeah.
the
I've visually
snowmaking
engineered
and
a
the-
better solution already.
And
it's
how-
almost
that-
easy to do
There's
something.
I
but-
think, yeah, there is an engineering solution to what we're trying to do there, a better
Yeah,
engineering
yes, for sure.
solution.
Anyway, that was all that I had.
Dan, did you have anything you wanted to bring to?
No, not under,
And the board
Yeah.
concerns? I don't think. I think we covered everything I wanted to talk about. Let me just double check. No, that's about it. Other than Ed and I will be meeting with Warren Wheelock of AIA, WBAIA, to see what their expectations are for funding
Good.
Next budget cycle. So I'm gonna have to start looking at that. I don't know. It brings to mind others that we severely cut, such as the Ray Center and whatnot. That's all-
library.
That's all coming up. But you know, we have the Budget Advisory Committee who will be assisting in all of this. So this is information, I think, to feed into them.
Yeah, great.
To that committee as to, I'm sure AIA will be looking for a resumption
Mhm.
of the funding. At least back to the historical number of 10,000, which hasn't changed for quite some time. We've not changed that for quite some time. So I think that's next week. And other than that, I didn't think I had anything else. Nope. Okay, no concerns, and okay, we're done there. I do think we have a couple things in non-public we want
We
to
do.
talk about, so thank you,
Under
folks,
what
for attending.
Topic in non-public.
They'd be for negotiation and,
I'll email you.
Okay,
yeah,
And
I
personnel,
don't want to.
versus
email
personnel,
would be great.
yeah, negotiations and personnel, is that the two
Yep.
we got?
Negotiations and
Thank you
personnel.
for attending, folks. Let us know when we're,
Motion to adjourn.
well, to go into non-public.
Yes.
I'll make that motion to go into non-public
I'll second that.
for those two reasons. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.